Mattifite.
Alyssa's
Because your house is so dusty.
Ooh, Dusty!
Alyssa's been moving lots of furniture in her place, and that's why we both got the same symptoms.
Yeah.
She moves it, and I crawl underneath and smell where it was. I'm a
Two people get
Mattifite.
together.
You're telling
They
me to
move
keep it nice, and you give me material like that to work with.
That kind of stuff is fine. We are live. We are live. All right. Oh, I'm not ready.
Testing.
Yeah, we're
Don't see anything.
we're not recording. All right.
Music this week. Thanks a lot, Mom.
3, 2, 1. Go Nintendo Podcast, episode 814, the Reboot Podcast.
Ooh, another
The-
Easter themed one.
That's what I was thinking. The Go Nintendo Podcast is a part of the HyperX Podcast Network. You can see all those podcasts at podcast.hyperx.com. Mom Brain, will you tell us about Reboot, please?
Oh,
Oh, wait. Mom Brain's not here.
Sorry.
I
The
would have.
first one to not be here since the show returns.
I would have done it. I would have done it if I had
Didn't
known.
take very long, did
You
it?
know, Nicky Hill
I'm
wasn't
glad
going
I
to be
skipped
here.
out on my family dinner to do this, or else I would have been on the chopping
I was
block.
going to say, you know who wasn't going to be here? Nicky Hill, but here he is.
But I am going to leave early. But it's showing up that matters.
That's
Leaving,
as long as you're here for the first 5 minutes, yeah.
I threw all the mail in the gutter
I
so I
gotta
can
make
get here on time.
I got to make it 5 minutes.
Speaking, everybody's mic is hot. I guess it's that second
Uh-oh.
splitter, so don't talk super loud.
I guess
Speaking
it's this knob that's turned all the way up.
to 11, Lube is here. Hi, Lube.
Hey.
Thanks.
Was it too loud?
Too loud. No, you're fine. Like,
All right.
just don't yell. If you're gonna talk really loud, it's
Yeah.
something to pull back.
I
It's got to be the. I'm running like a dog and pony show. It's splitters for microphones, and it shouldn't be like that.
Normal if you just don't get
Don't
as
get
close
close.
as we
I
originally.
I'm sorry,
know.
our dog
It's-
and pony
No,
shows.
Well,
Oh,
the
really?
thing is, if you get up on the mic and you talk at a normal volume, you'll be nice and clear. But if you're back here like this and you talk, you'll be more echoey. So if you could come
I'll
up,
be here
Yes.
and talk.
So
like
then
that's
Yeah.
exactly
Yeah,
right.
all right,
That's
all right, I'm
exactly
getting
right.
this.
There you
we
go.
understand why are dog and pony shows always the example of things running poorly?
Well, because famously, dogs and ponies don't get along. Everybody knows that.
It is true. Everybody does know that.
It's first thing.
That's- have you been
Literally
like,
every
my TikTok is full of dogs and
I
ponies.
think.
Wait a
working
minute. How
together.
many
You-
dog and pony shows have you seen or been to?
Well, I was going to ask you that.
None. The
You
answer is
know-
none because it can't happen. It's too dangerous.
I always thought I always assumed during I guess that it was or interpreted it as dog like and or pony show like isolated. They're still
No.
No.
No,
He
wrong.
slept through history class. He doesn't know what he's
why is
talking about.
why is it a dogs and ponies and not a cats and dogs show?
Well, cats and dogs don't get along, but we know that they
You
can
try-
live together.
Yeah,
but
and you try getting a cat to give a show. Cat doesn't care about that. Dogs and ponies, they
Yes,
give a show, but
yes.
it's kind of a cheesy
dog
carnival
shows,
show.
pony shows, but
Mhm,
both of
mhm.
them want to be the star of the show. You put them both together, massacre.
And Mom Brain, she's a no shows.
Oh.
Got her.
All right, I'll do Mom Brain's job. The Raboot, let me try this again. It's very difficult. Raboot has thick and fluffy fur that protects it from cold and enables it to use hotter fire moves. It is 2 feet tall. It's 19 pounds. There are male and female Raboots, and its ability is Blaze, 428 Blaze it. Yeah, that's that. Kirby's here.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Josh Grobot's here. Thank you, Josh.
Hell yeah.
Lube is here.
Hey, hey.
Nicky Hill's here.
Shout out to my bros.
Hey.
Kirby's here.
Yeah.
Nicky Hill's here.
Hi.
Kirby's here.
Hey.
Dew's here. Lube's here.
Yes, I am.
Nicky Hill is here.
Hey.
Kirby's here.
Hi.
And I'm here.
The
God,
all,
everybody.
Mom Brain.
all boys
Mom Brain.
cast.
Oh, she's a no-show. Ah!
Oh, I'm here too.
Oh, Kirby's here.
Oh, Josh is here.
Hi.
Mom Brain is a no show, and
Don't forget about Kirby.
Hey.
I'm a
I sweaty.
I'm a show and go.
No.
Well, it works. It does.
Man, the first time
something works. Yeah, the
it
first time
so
was great.
The first
Yeah.
time, and you had to keep bringing it up. Come
Yeah.
on, let's move ahead.
He brought it up, and then I brought it up a third time.
That's true. All right. Let me do this. Man, I'm out of sorts. Hello to
Oh, wait.
Nico Darunia and Grantimus and Hiley and Tom and KC and Fluffernutter and Giant Reggie and Colma and Freddy Fro and Slacker Monkey and Naka and the Keys Effect, and Sonic 64, and Roth, and I can't. Every time I go to scroll, it keeps screwing up, and everybody else that I can't see. Thanks for joining us today. Hello, Tent Division, and Drake, and everybody else that's in here. I appreciate it. It's been very fun. Hello, Kurt Duck, hanging out with you guys again. We got some things to cover before we get into. Oh, I like that. I like that bookmark you got there on your phone.
Thank you. Go Nintendo. I'm trying. I should have bookmarked whatever this chat is called because I'm still trying to figure out how to use it.
Yeah, you can use it.
I'm just silencing my phone. I'm sorry. I should have done that earlier.
Do you have to say that you're part of a podcast network now? Or
I did.
You did say it before?
Sure did.
I don't remember. Oh, I can
Remember, I said that whole thing about podcast.hyperx.com?
No,
He did say it. I remember.
I don't
Yes.
remember. I'm just worried about where Mom Brain is.
Well, this is great that you bring it up because now if you go to podcast.hyperx.com, we are actually on the page now. We weren't on the page before, but now we're there.
The
So
front page?
there's only one page, and yes, we are on it. So yes, the front page.
Nice.
So we have some things to talk about. First off, I meant to talk about this last week and I completely forgot. We have an update on the Conan O'Brien situation. Lube, I'll give you a very quick recap.
Update.
He's finally getting his own Tonight Show or
He's-
Late Night Show.
He's very busy. Long story short, he mistook Animal Crossing for real life. He saw someone's Animal Crossing picture of their living room and thought it was their real life living room. Ha ha ha, became a thing. We put a story together about it. That story made it to
Hello, Joe Shabadoo.
the person who was on the podcast with Conan that was talking to Conan. So the person who had the Animal Crossing living room, she saw our story. She retweeted it for her followers and thought it was funny that this was getting coverage. And I talked to her and we had a little back and forth, blah, blah, blah. I also have been trying to get an interview with Conan O'Brien to talk about the things that we mention him on the podcast all the time.
Also, hello,
Close to
Need or
that
Die.
before?
I have been talking to their PR team. Well,
It's been a
I
long time coming.
finally got an answer, and it's not a good one.
Oh,
I got an answer, and the rep, it wasn't like it wasn't a canned response. It was the rep I've been talking to.
Said,
And I said,
please
"Thank
leave
you
us
for the-"
alone. There will be a lawsuit.
We don't know who you are. We're
please.
blocking you. They said they appreciate the coverage, but Conan is extremely busy right now. And I am not giving up because you're never so busy that you can't do an email interview because you do that whenever you're not busy. Because
But-
an email
what
interview
if he's
is whenever.
that
It's not like
busy?
I need this email right now, or I need you to answer this email at 4 p.m. tomorrow. It's just like I'll send him these questions and he answers whenever he's got the time. It'll take 5 minutes at most, I would imagine. So I'm not giving up, but
The only time he's got time is when he's going to the bathroom, probably, and even then, he's
perfect
probably working.
time.
He's working on a
I-
project.
Lots
A
of
big
people,
job, they call it.
lots of people spend time on their phones in the bathroom. He could do that and answer an email. You think when Will Arnett is like, "Hey, come be on my Netflix show," Conan's team is like, "Oh, I'm sorry, Conan's very busy." No. Do I deserve the same respect of Will Arnett? Yes,
Yeah, but this is
definitely.
perhaps he would have done this before that show, but now he's the most popular thing in Hollywood.
You know, this is rich coming from a guy who just said a few weeks ago, "What the hell's Conan doing?" You didn't believe that he's a busy guy.
But he's clearly very busy.
Who's there?
I was
Now,
mistaken,
I
and
almost
I
feel like you're
eat my
playing devil's
words.
advocate. or
I
something
think so.
here for no reason.
Is there something you want to say to Nicky Hill, Loop?
I think you're doing a great job.
Oh, I really thought you were going to say, "I believe you, Nicky Hill."
I'm
So
glad you asked.
that's
Oh,
not
no,
the
wait.
that's not the end of
There's no
it.
question.
I am going to keep trying, and we'll see how it goes. I'm not going to be annoying, but I will be persistent. And then maybe at some point we'll start a Twitter campaign to really annoy him. But we're not at that point right now. We're just going to have some fun.
I don't want to be annoying, but I am going to hide in his house and wait
Well,
for him to come home.
You know, I've been talking about PR people in general with other people who run websites and do YouTube channels, and a PR person's job is to field emails and answer questions. So by me emailing a PR person, that's not being annoying. That's me doing what PR people are there for, to answer these questions. I mean,
Right.
a PR person can very easily delete an email and ignore it and pretend like it never happened. So
Or
I'm just going to keep trying.
or just select your email address to be spam.
Block. Yes, exactly. Now I know what you do.
With what?
My emails.
I don't get emails.
Moving on, I have a. Oh, by the way, Kirby's on the soundboard this week, and he's going to hit us with a great gem right this second.
I don't want to be here.
What is a man?
Worth it.
Are we going into news?
No,
Dark metamorphosis.
That's what I should.
I have a special thank you for Deux Michaels because there's a story that popped up yesterday, all because of him. So I don't.
I would argue
Dude's
that it's
rumor?
because of Reggie's mother and father that it happened.
That's true. That's true. So, Deux, I think in passing you have mentioned the main men list on the podcast, but would you like to give a quick summary of what it actually is?
I mean, yeah, it's nothing special. It's just it's just a list of main men, and it's
pretty
you know,
special.
It could be
Special to you,
it
which
could be-
makes it special.
Thank you very much, Lou. It's great to have you here. Yeah, it could be anybody. It doesn't have to be, you know, it's mostly actors, but it could be anybody famous or even non-famous. Actually, the biggest thing that I have about a main men list is that the person who makes it dictates it. So for me, it's mostly actors and things like that, and you know, certain celebrities. Reggie is one of the people on my main men list, and because I'm a little out there, I take all my main men's birthdays, and it could be women too. Like it's just like that. Just
Main women.
yeah, it just rolls off the tongue as main men. But yeah, so I take
Prominent
their
people?
birthdays and I put it into my calendar. So it came up yesterday that one of my main men was celebrating a birthday, and I know that the person is larger than life in many of our lives who love Nintendo. So I reached out to Kevin, and that's about all we can say.
You reached out to who?
RMC.
So yeah, I didn't know yesterday was Reggie's birthday. I'm sure I would have found out at some point, but I do not have him in my main men list, and I do have a list, which I don't know why I don't have him in there.
Yeah, how long can a main man list be?
Oh, it
It's
can be long,
growing.
as long as
Yeah.
you want. It's your list.
All right.
Yeah, mine is growing.
Really?
In case you want to do that at home, everybody. As long as you want it to be.
Kirby, I'm not trying to put you on the spot here, but I do believe we have some Reggie sound clips.
Also, a birthday sound clip.
Do we? Oh God.
Well, which one do you want me to play?
No.
All
Man,
of them.
maybe-
The
One of them is
birthdays
played, and one of them is
birthdays.
Josh Grobot, and it's his own thing. Yeah, Nicky Hill, take the soundboard and let Kirby relax. He'll take it over when you're gone. Yeah, I know you're holding a microphone. What the
What do you
hell's the big
want?
deal?
I'm in Discord. I'm on Discord.
My body is ready.
You want me on that cord?
My body is ready.
Okay.
He's ready. See. My
So
body's
what
ready.
happened
It's
is,
his birthday.
It's
Dude
fun.
told me it was his birthday, and I was like, oh, and I went and put out a tweet on Twitter about it being Reggie's birthday, and obviously I tagged Reggie. And believe it or not, Reggie, did I? No, I didn't delete it. Reggie linked our tweet on his Twitter. So he said, thank you to all in the Twitterverse who are wishing me a happy birthday. I really appreciate all the positive thoughts. And he displayed our tweet for everybody to see.
Was yours
said-
the only one? Were you the only one on
What's
the
wrong
Twitter
with you?
who made him a birthday wish?
Are you the only one on the Twitter?
that made him a birthday wish.
Obviously, no, I
but
wasn't
you're the only
one.
one he displayed.
Well, he displayed two.
Well,
Oh,
he
all right, so
We
two-
were the first.
I think Reggie's actual tweet was at Conan O'Brien. Is this guy bugging you too?
100 feet.
We were the first, which was very nice of him. The second was the official Game Awards Twitter account, which is created by Jeff Keighley, one of Reggie's good friends, the Dorito Pope, as you guys might know him. So he
Yes.
thanked him as well, or linked his tweet as well. But yes, after that, I don't know if he did anymore. I wasn't paying attention because, I mean, it doesn't matter anymore. But that was really awesome to see. I was very surprised that he did that. But, you know, now that he's not at Nintendo anymore, he can do that kind of stuff. And I understand why he doesn't follow us on Twitter, but he's watching. He's out there. Or he's just following what people are saying about him all day long. He just sits on his phone and he's like, what are people saying about me? I need to see.
Yeah, I thought I was really.
What's wrong with
pleased to see that. I thought that was so cool when you sent me that. I don't know. It's great.
It is great. Well, like I said, I owe it all to you, so thank you. And by the way, Reggie is 61.
Oh, that was
61 years old. Yes, Nicky Hill?
Kurt Dog wanted to ask if you got a chance to add those things to the soundboard.
No.
Sorry, Kurt Dog.
My body is ready.
I haven't added anything to the soundboard because I'm busy doing the website all week, but we have a what do you want me to say?
He's so busy.
We have a
You hear that,
different
Conan? He's
we
so
have a
busy.
different iPad now that I'll be moving everything over to, and unfortunately, I have to move every clip individually, so it literally takes hours to do. But when I do that, I will be adding the new sound clips. Is it going to be this coming week?
No.
I'd like to hope so,
No.
but I'm not going to
Hey,
promise that it'll
Mom
be this
Brain's in
week.
the Discord.
What the
She
hell?
made it today. She said, "Happy podcast,
She
all."
heard
I'm
she
not
was
watching,
being
but
bad
wanted
mouth.
to say hello and happy pod.
What, you know, how brazen. Happy podcast
Not
all. I'm
even
not
watching.
watching.
Hey, what happened?
Well, that's what makes it.
What a
That's what
jerk.
makes it happy.
What
is
a
that
jerk.
Her not
Yeah.
being here.
So,
And the
yes.
Keys Effect says, I hope to God Dew gets angry today so Lube can back him up. Always a great show when that happens.
Yes.
No, I saw that and I purposefully didn't read it.
My
And now that
body-
it's out there.
My body is ready.
Well, Freddie Fro,
We were talking about that before the podcast, which is why it's so funny.
nobody's doing music today to answer your question.
Yes, there's no music today because Mom Brain is not here. Did she say that last week? No. Did I know she was going away? Maybe. I didn't remember, to tell you the truth.
Oh,
We got to the week and I was like, oh, you're leaving. I completely forgot.
Oh, she did tell me she was going away.
So it's your fault.
He didn't realize she wasn't here.
I forgot.
Only other thing I have to talk about is Parents Play, because last week on the podcast I teased the return of Parents Play, and now I have to tell you that Parents Play has been delayed for at least 2 weeks because unfortunately my parents were
busy.
potentially exposed to someone with COVID. They are okay. They are not testing positive for COVID, but they are staying home and quarantining for 2 weeks, so I won't see them. And I found this out the day we were supposed to record. So unfortunately, we now have to wait, but better to be safe than sorry. So we will get to Parents Play, not as soon as I wanted to, but it will happen. So hang in there. I didn't want to leave people hanging. I talked about it on Patreon this week, but I want to let you guys know too, because I mentioned it on last week's podcast. That's it. Now we are
Now we do news.
I was trying to get perfect.
Oh,
Look at
sorry.
me. Going to the news section of the GoNintendo podcast.
Right on time. This guy is great.
No vamping at all. Well, you know,
Listen to
let's-
that face.
Thanks for the assistant.
let's do you got let's do what I said we were going to do last week and make our first story this week the one that is uncomfortable, and we'll get it out of the way, but it's important to talk about. Just Lube's excitement over this.
Well,
Please, Lube,
Yes.
please,
I don't
say-
even know what it is, but I'm excited.
It's about you.
Yes.
We're kicking you off the show.
No.
No,
go
ahead. Go ahead. Be excited.
Make it what?
You don't want to do that when we're recording, because then anything could come out of his mouth as he's walking out the
Final
door.
show, yeah. We're kicking you off the show. We're getting somebody else to come in, and they are also going to wear your banana suit. I'm sorry.
Damn, I should have brought that.
This is about the.
Do you still have that banana suit?
Heck yeah, I do. It's not something you get rid
That was
of.
an uncomfortable laugh. There's a history
Whoever's
with
listening,
that. Yeah,
make
right?
that a soundboard.
So, Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps was
Um,
created by. Oh, we were talking. That's
yeah,
funny.
we were talking about that.
Is created by Moon Studios, and unfortunately, a massive expose came out on Moon Studios, and apparently, the head honchos at Moon Studios are not the best people. Multiple report. Now, let me say this first. This comes from VentureBeat. VentureBeat did a massive dig into, or a deep dive into this whole situation, and I talked to a lot of current and former employees of Moon Studios and got their statements on all of this stuff. Please check out VentureBeat's full report to get the complete picture of what's going on here. But unfortunately, yeah, it seems Moon Studios has been mistreating their employees and having some conversations at the workplace that are making people uncomfortable and are inappropriate. These unnamed sources have said that Moon Studios was making racist comments, sexist comments, and belittling employees in general and mismanaging teams and stuff like that. And lots of people have come out to verify these claims. One developer at the studio says, quote, "We really created something special, and I know the only way I was able to reconcile it was I was able to watch people on Twitch and watch other people moved by it, and that was actually part of my healing process, because maybe what the hell's going on here?"
Oh,
You
I just need to get something.
made
from my,
Kirby too
my
uncomfortable,
jacket.
so he has to leave.
He
I
says,
have to-
because
Go change my pants. He made me so uncomfortable.
maybe my suffering
Oh, man,
was
and
worth
you're
it
wearing-
because other people felt something in the end. I mean, so many of us were burned out. So, there's the base level mismanagement of a team and crunch and all that. But obviously there's the
It's
the other stuff about
I mean,
racism and
belittling
sexism
people is okay, but the rest of this stuff's just not
Oh,
cool.
sure. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
business 101.
Yeah.
So yeah, this also VentureBeat reached out to Moon Studios, like the upper echelon of Moon Studios, to get a statement on this and on these accusations.
The statement's the worst.
The statement is the absolute worst because it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It is 6 paragraphs, and I would argue that
Are they like the cut
95%
and
of it.
paste?
Well, 95% of it is like our games are great and we won so many awards and our projects are fantastic. And then the last 2 sentences are about the accusations.
Yeah, there's not even really an apology. It's kind of one of those "I'm sorry if you felt
Yeah.
this way" apologies. And then it was also like, well, we can say what we want about those races and whatever because we are those races. And it was kind of like, I don't know.
So it really is talking about their statement really is about how great their games are, how many awards they've won, and how much their games have moved people. And then literally the last 2 sentences are, quote, "We are not perfect, but we deeply care about our talent and are constantly working hard to improve. If we have ever made anyone feel uncomfortable or let anyone down, we regret that, and we will always strive to do better." That's it. That's the only thing they said about the whole accusation. The rest of it is just them patting themselves on the back for having games that have done well. So, very unfortunate situation. Yes, Nicky Hill, you look like you got something to say? No. Okay. So, again.
Yes, I certainly
I think I just
do.
gotta hold it. He looks like that because he's holding the microphone up to his mouth.
Oh, that's
yeah,
true.
I just wanted to ask, is this thing on?
He has to go now. His planet needs him.
So, again, read the full piece to get the full picture of what happened here. We've heard reports since then from very well-respected sources, in particular Jeff Grubb, who is a major industry insider. He was saying that Microsoft was made aware of these issues, which is why Microsoft distanced themselves from Moon Studios and is not publishing their next game because Microsoft said, this shouldn't be happening and we're not working with you anymore. So Microsoft bowed out. I forget who's publishing their next game, but everybody at the time was like, why isn't Microsoft publishing this? They got 2 great games out of that studio. Why leave them for their next project? Now we know.
Yeah. Maybe if all this awfulness didn't happen, we wouldn't have Ori on the Switch.
Well, we wouldn't if it wasn't for Microsoft. And yeah, I mean, I don't know what the porting process was like, but obviously Moon Studios was involved somehow. So yeah, I am happy to hear that when Microsoft found out this was going on, they stepped away and were like, we're not participating with you guys anymore. So that is good to hear. Donut Muffin says their response to the allegations makes a lot of excuses about why they couldn't possibly be a bad place to work and how their team just doesn't understand their sense of humor. Then ends with a half-hearted apology. Quote, "Methinks they doth protest too much." End quote. Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. Exactly. So, yeah, it's been a rocky road for them since this came out, but I don't think they put any other statements out. They're just kind of like, well, we whiffed it with the first statement. We're just going to ride with that. So that's the way it is.
We're gonna have a press conference in the Bill Cosby room, I think.
Yeah, right. With Activision. Exactly. More reports came out about Activision this week. To tell you the honest truth,
Oh, no.
I saw the headlines and I didn't even have the stomach to read them because I was like, things have been so bad already for Activision. Like, I don't need any more convincing that they're bad. But yeah, more sexual abuse allegations and all that stuff. So I was like, yeah, Microsoft buying Activision to get Call of Duty and all that is great, but also I really honestly think Microsoft's going to clean house and be like, this crap isn't happening anymore. Like, this is ridiculous. Because Microsoft obviously took the company on knowing that the studio's reputation was in shambles, so they're going to rehabilitate the situation, hopefully. Because we haven't heard any of this stuff from other Microsoft teams, you know, and now
They're
with the
pretty
stuff
good
flying
about
around.
keeping it a secret. Microsoft's gonna bury it good.
They send out Master Chief, and he takes care of things. Man, I wanted to watch the first episode of the Halo show last night to talk about it on the podcast today, but I was too tired and didn't do it. So next week, get prepared for my rant about
There's a Halo
How
show.
good it
Cortana
is,
being
right?
not blue. Huh?
There's a Halo show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Master
r-
Chief's very
My
busy.
rant about how good it is.
What is it? Where is it air?
Paramount Plus. My dad texted me about it yesterday. So A, he knows it's a video game, which I'm impressed. And B, he said it looks, quote, interesting, end quote. So
Ooh,
Well, that's
praise from
something.
Caesar.
it'll be interesting to see how a fan of the game like feels
Like
about the
my
show
dad.
versus someone.
No, you're
huge Halo fan.
you're onto something there though, because I mean, without knowing the game, you
Yeah.
might actually think
Yes.
it's cool, you
That's-
know. But people who know the game might think this is terrible.
I do want
know,
that
so that
opinion. I
it is-
just don't know if my dad is the one to get it from. 'Cause he's
No,
a
your
weird
dad
guy.
is 100% the one to get it from.
Oh, I can guarantee he'll have an opinion unlike anyone else's. That's
Yes.
for sure. All right, moving on. Lube,
Yes.
have you heard about what's going on in Fortnite?
Yes.
Luke, have you heard? What is that?
Do you
mean?
hear
They got the
Have you
they got the no
heard-
build mode.
No, hold on. I want to go
What
back to
is that
Nicky Hill
thing?
here.
You can dab now in Fortnite. I just heard this.
I can't remember what the joke is. Never mind.
No, we're gonna sit with this.
No.
Is it specific to Lube?
There are a
No,
lot of
it's
jokes
the-
about me.
Bird is the word.
Yeah.
That's what you couldn't think of. Have
Well,
you
how
heard?
do- how-
Everybody's heard
how
about
do
the
you-
bird.
How do you bring it up?
Josh Grobot.
What do you mean? How do you bring it? You brought it up.
Say something in disgust.
I'm asking, how do you bring it up properly? Because I've done messed
Since
it up.
when are you concerned about that?
Doesn't anyone care what I think?
Josh, what do you think about the bird being the word?
Shut up. I don't care.
Handled like a
Got me
real
again.
pro.
Got me again. All right. So anyway, yes, you're right,
A
Lube. No,
big hello to my fans.
no build mode is part of Fortnite.
Yeah,
That
they,
is
it was
correct.
only going to be temporary, but
I'm
I
a
think they're going to make it
hardcore
a
gamer.
permanent, not in the base, but like a permanent no build mode mode in the game.
Everything you've heard is correct, except for it being a permanent mode. That's not confirmed, but is pretty much confirmed.
Yeah.
So yeah, Fortnite after years has shifted gameplay to not have building in it. So the main battle royale mode has no building anymore.
But not tournament play still has
Tournament play is still building. Yes,
unaffected.
all the other
Yeah.
modes still have building in them. Creative mode still has
Yeah.
building, all that stuff. It is a 9-day period where
Yes.
you cannot build, and then battle royale will go back to building. But
But
as Luke was saying, data miners
they'll
have been
the
digging
build
through the game.
mode and the no
Dada
build
mode.
mode.
It does seem there will be a permanent battle royale no build mode along with a build mode traditional mode.
Have you tried it with the no build mode?
We have, and we will talk about it later.
Okay.
What I will say is it's fantastic. I mean, it completely changes everything about the game, like
Yeah.
your strategies and everything. Like, it's completely different. I'm excited to talk about it later. But yeah, so they did it. People have been asking for this for a long time. And, you know, building is what really sets Fortnite apart from other battle royales. But people, a large group of people wanted them to take building out, and they did it. And I think it's great that they're doing it for a limited amount of time. And then if the data mined information is correct, I think it's great that they will continue to have it as an option for people and let people pick if they want to have build or no
it's
build.
pretty
That's
cool
fantastic.
because It kind of stinks when it's like, oh, there's enemies, and I build a ramp and a wall, and in the time I build a ramp and a wall, someone has like the Taj Mahal built,
Yeah.
and I'm like, well,
Well, that's why Epic has certainly heard people say like they get fed up with Fortnite because they want to play and shoot and get into combat. And exactly what you said happens.
Yeah.
Somebody will start shooting, and then they build a skyscraper out of
Yeah.
nowhere, and you can't.
or
compete.
they box you in and they edit and hit you with a pickaxe faster than you can do anything about it.
That was your story that you had. Was it last year or 2 years ago that you were really excited about? That the person was like built this huge thing, and it was just you against this last person. Like the two of you were the last people, and you figured out that the other person probably had like the vision thing that they could see where you are on the screen, so they were watching you, and you were like, he's probably gonna edit right here behind me, and then you turned around and he was right there. And
right at the exact moment I turned around and he made a window. And I shot him
but I
in the
mean, how
face.
many times does Lady Luck smile?
Yeah,
upon
exactly. I was
that
going to say that's
situation?
1 out of like 1,000 times for that happen. Well, let's put it this way:
this loop character,
it'll never happen again. So yes, Fortnite is now build free. I guess it's that way for a couple more
It'll
days.
be, a couple more days, I think.
Not too long. So if you haven't tried that, I suggest you get in there and try it. Even if you haven't been into Fortnite in a while, it's a game changer, literally. We have some news about Metroid Dread.
Yeah, when's that coming out?
Metroid Dread. We have specifics on UK sales data. According to Games Industries' Christopher Dring, Metroid Dread is now the best-selling 2D Metroid title in the UK ever. So the majority of Metroid games were in 2D. They didn't go 3D until Prime, and there's been Prime 1, Prime 2, and Prime 3 Corruption. And then outside of that, I guess you'd count like Hunters as 3D, but there's way more 2D entries. But Metroid Dread has already managed to outsell all of those 2D entries. And furthermore, Metroid Dread in the UK is the third best-selling Metroid game of all time already.
Incredible.
So if that's the case now, then that means by the end of this year in the UK, Metroid Dread should end up being the best-selling Metroid game in general in the UK.
Would you say you're impressed, Kirby?
You know, let him take the soundboard.
I can't. It's on the table. I'm not by it.
So you're gonna
be right here, and you could scooch in.
I'm just
you
helping
could
him.
you
I'm
could
assisting.
no, you're not helping. You're
being
you're
a back
pressuring
seat,
him.
back
Yes,
seat driver.
you are.
A back
Reach
seat
over, just hit him.
soundboard.
Perfect.
So yeah, that's great news. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the game. Deux is a huge fan. Nicky Hill beat the game. I don't know if I'd say he's a huge fan.
I
Kirby
loved
loved the game.
Never played it.
Never
So
played it.
So
You
I
still
thought
gotta play
about-
No More Heroes too.
Never played it.
Desperate
Never
Struggle.
heard of it.
So Metroid Dread, in the first boss fight, the camera like swoops around as the boss dies, and you see Samson in the background out of focus, and like so the camera is like on the boss, and then it shifts its focus to Samson.
He says this all the time. He
And,
says Sam.
and it was
says
super
Samson.
cinematic and like incredible.
Super,
And
super
I was watching-
cinematic.
I was watching The Batman,
And I couldn't help
never heard
but
of
think
it.
this would be better if Samus was in it.
No, I just felt like some of the framing and stuff. Some of it was like it just made me. It reminded me of like cutscenes, and it like they're both interchangeable. They're both just like super cinematic and really.
The Batman
classy.
definitely stole some of its scene framing from Samson.
Samson Dread.
Man, that was
And,
real tongue
Man,
twister.
if you are watching this episode of the podcast, please
Yes.
rewind and look at Loop's face when he said that. It was
Yes.
great. The conviction with the slight smirk of "I don't know what I'm going to say next" was great. So yes, there you go. That's great news for Metroid in the UK and great news for Metroid overall. First comment comes from Currybo, and they say, "What absolutely dreadful news!" I get it. I get puns.
I don't care.
Well, yes, because you didn't remember the name of the game. So
Samson.
Samson Dread. Hey, can you hit me with that, Nicky Hill? Can you hit me with that Tweagle? Thank you. Loot drop incoming. Get to the drop at HyperX.com for store-wide savings. HyperX is fighting the battle against inflation with deep discounts across all categories of HyperX gear. Head there quick, though. Once March ends, so does the madness. It's the HyperX Loot Drop 2 going on now at HyperX.com. Ooh, I just barely made it.
Man, I like
may have
that.
canceled
That's
it a little
cool.
early by accident.
Did you cancel it?
He
Well,
did.
I went to a
He did.
different. I didn't press it
He
again.
won.
So then the answer is yes. You canceled.
I don't know. Here, let me
I
test.
saw him. Did I? watched
Baby,
him
lock the
whole
door
let's
and
do
turn
tests
the
during
light
No,
down
I didn't.
That's a great idea.
I
We'll
didn't.
talk about prongles before the show, and then we'll not test any mics
Uh,
and just do this.
According to that test, I didn't screw anything up.
I didn't think you could cancel out. The only way you can cancel out a sound is by
To hit
hitting
it
the
again.
sound again.
And I didn't do that.
The fooler can't be fooled again. All right, moving on. Fortnite is donating. Well, Epic is donating Fortnite's revenue for the next. I don't remember. It's still like April something or other. Let's see. Rami, did you write it? You did. Fortnite is donating all of its revenue, 100% of its revenue, to the Ukraine from I don't know when they start. Oh, March 20th. So March 20th to April 3rd. Every little bit of revenue that comes
Now
into
you
Fortnite
are a real hero.
goes to helping the people in Ukraine.
Man,
What's
those-
Ukraine going to do with V-Bucks?
Yeah, I know.
don't
They're
get
gonna
it.
have so many V-Bucks. They're gonna be able to buy so many skins to fight the Russians.
Well, it's gonna work out really well because in a couple of days they're gonna be able to start rebuilding again. Right.
Oh,
That was
Wow.
pretty
it was good. It was
That's
good.
pretty
Wow, that was an expertly crafted joke. Wow. So yeah, if you buy any
Wow,
skins or
I am
buy
impressed.
V-Bucks
Thanks,
or
Ray.
whatever you're doing in Fortnite that uses real money, that real money is going to the Ukraine. And last I heard, they were over $70 million in revenue from this period. So that all goes to the Ukraine. And what was it? It was like the vice. Does Ukraine have a vice prime minister? I think they do.
they don't have
This
a
is
vice president, but
Vice Prime
I'm not
Minister?
sure.
because he went on Twitter to thank Epic for all the revenue from Fortnite because it's $70 million. That's an insane
Just
amount.
goes to show you how much Epic makes from Fortnite.
That's also what I was thinking. Yeah, right. That's
like
70 million, and that was like 7 or 8 days.
Yeah.
So
that's crazy.
that is crazy. And you know,
Are they gonna make a Zelensky skin?
maybe I don't know. That might be a little touchy to have him in a game where people are shooting at him, but
That's true.
maybe
That's
they
true.
do. Like you liked that. I'm not saying this as a joke. The Martin Luther King thing that they did in Fortnite, you thought was really well done.
Yes, it was. It was.
You know, and obviously there were jokes made about that kind of thing, but so many people play Fortnite and so many kids play Fortnite that they get in the game and they see that stuff, and there are going to be kids who see that stuff and are like, wow, I didn't know that, and learn that stuff. So if they, there's messaging in Fortnite about the situation in the Ukraine and how money's going towards it, so people can learn through that stuff. So that's really awesome. But yes, they are making a lot of money, and it's crazy that they I give Epic a lot of credit for doing it now. Obviously it's needed now in the Ukraine, but when they go no build and doing it, because I know that's going to bring back lapsed players too, and instead of being greedy and being like, well, 80% of the revenue or whatever, they're like, nope, all of it. They get all of it. So thanks. Very cool. Moving on to a not so serious topic. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe has some DLC recently in the Booster Course Pass, and we know there's more waves in the Booster Course Pass on the way. But one of the Booster Course Passes might be hinting at future courses that will be added. If you're driving around Coconut Mall, which is from which Mario Kart? Anybody?
3.
Mario Kart.
It's funny because one of them is named 8, and I believe that's the only numbered one, unless you want to count 64. Mario Kart 1, 64, 8, 3.
What's the one on the GameCube?
You were right, dude, by the way. Mario Kart Wii is the one with Coconut Mall.
Was that the
Oh,
third
Thank you.
one?
Thank you.
No, it was not the third one. It was the 6th or 7th one.
Oh, almost.
So if you're driving around Coconut Mall, you might notice some posters in the background, and these posters
Beep,
show
beep.
off Dino Island and Vanilla
no.
Lake.
Wasn't me.
And those are courses from Mario Kart. And why bother to put them as ads in Coconut Mall unless they were teasing future tracks for Booster Course Pass? So not confirmed by any means, but it certainly seems like Nintendo snuck something in there like that. So it's a potential hint at what might be down the road. The Mario Kart, the Rainbow Road. Beep, beep. Donut Muffin says, I have fond memories of the Dino level. I'd love for it to be back. I would love for Nintendo to add back the double riders feature too.
Thank you.
Somebody
That's
else at this
the best
table would
feature
like
they
that.
ever had. And the giant banana.
I don't.
We need
Wait,
Diddy.
I don't think
We
we
need
need a
giant
giant
banana.
banana.
Yes.
Nobody really needs
Ladies
that.
and gentlemen, the only time I've ever beaten RMC in a video game has been with giant bananas. I'm unstoppable in that game, and that's why they took it away.
Tasty.
I agree with all of that. I knew you loved the giant banana. I knew you had the giant banana, and I just could not get away from it.
There's
I
nothing to
don't
do
know
about
why
it.
I
There's
couldn't,
nothing to do about it.
couldn't get away from
They
it.
don't even have Diddy as a playable character anymore because
Too
it
overpowered.
just brought back too many bad memories for a lot of people.
I listen. When I started like having a relationship with Nintendo, I was like, let's take. We don't need that giant banana, and you could take Diddy
If
out
that
while you're
were
at it.
true, if that were true, our friendship would really be strained. It would be, but I know it's not. Nintendo changes their stuff up all the time.
What if they bring Diddy back and they do a sequel to Double Dash, but it's quadruple dash, and you throw out 2 big bananas instead of 1?
Well, I mean, that's just overkill.
What if it's
The one big
8
banana
small bananas?
Turns into 3 little bananas, which is great. That's why
You
it's so
know,
versatile.
and bananas don't mess me up as it is in Mario Kart, but the giant banana just
But you can't get because if you go
You're-
over a jump or someone and you know someone's behind you, it's over because
your placement was always perfect,
Thank you.
absolutely perfect
Thank
in
you.
a spot where you couldn't see it. You were in the air, so you couldn't do anything about it. It was magnificent,
Every time.
magnificent. It was
And
like it was like the controller was an extension of your
and then,
body.
and then when you hit it, it turns into 3, and then that's another thing because they're all by the landing, and
Yeah.
you have nothing to do if you're already in the air.
There are 2 ways to guarantee you kill me in any video game. Big banana is one, and the other one is me killing myself with proximity mines. Always, without a doubt.
Yes.
Any game that has proximity mines, I will blow myself up. I'll forget that I put them there every single time. Always happens. The Switch got a firmware update this week. It is version 14.0.0. And included in this update is a feature. Well, I have to be careful how I word this because people get very annoyed. It's a feature people requested for a very long time, but Nintendo didn't call it what people wanted them to call it. And it also wasn't implemented exactly the way people wanted it to be implemented. So I think people are angry. But Switch owners wanted folders for their games, and Nintendo did not give them folders. They gave them groups. You can now create groups of software by sticking them in a not folder for all the games, and you can put multiple games in these groups, and you can put games in different groups as well. So you could have Mario Kart in a racing group or Mario Kart in a Nintendo group, whatever groups you want, you can put them in there.
Could you
They
give the
are not-
groups dirty names?
I don't know if you can actually name,
Like
maybe you can name the groups. You must be able
balls
to.
group? Could you have
Sure.
all right.
What would be in there?
Anything you wanted.
Just the game balls, I was thinking. So these are not on the main menu of the Switch. You go all the way to the
Main
right
menu.
where it's like the libraries or
The
the
main men group.
whatever this whatever that icon is on the right. You click on that and then you'll have access to all of your groups. So people wanted folders, as in they wanted them called folders, and then people wanted those to be accessed from the main screen rather than the sub screen, whatever you want to call it. But groups are in there. So I don't know. You know, it's the internet. I don't know how much of the vitriol and anger is the majority of the people versus the minority of the people, but there is some sort of organizational feature in there that wasn't there before. Streaks says, quick, hold on to something. The internet is about to crash. There was a lot of excitement. Let's go into the chat and see what they were saying. Tall Show says, you sure can name them. LOL.
Nice.
Nice. Big show and tall show.
Put all your sports
get
titles
too
in the
cocky.
balls group.
Oh, very good over there, Nicky Hill. And everybody else is just talking about how they miss Mom Brain. Well, isn't that great? You know what? Mom Brain left you guys, okay? You know what? Mom Brain was like, stupidly, Disney World's more fun than the podcast. Not true. But that's what she decided.
Man, we
so.
should do the
I don't remember her
podcast
saying
at
that.
Disney World.
Like in the
Yeah.
parking lot of Disney World.
No.
Oh, I guess you can't film inside, obviously.
On the log flume.
Maybe if you're a YouTuber, I'm sure they there's
I
gotta be
wouldn't have a
YouTubers that
problem.
go around there. What? You got like nervous after you did that.
TikTokers.
Are you all right over there?
TikTokers do things at Disney
It was
World.
Film
The show in TikTok segments.
That was a nice TikTok segment you did. Hey, look who's in the chat.
George.
George is still here, mine without a cause. You know what?
We should put
Next week, I'm bringing George up here. I'm going to put him on the door over there. George lives in the basement. I see George whenever I play games downstairs, but he deserves to be. He's a part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Can't handle his limes.
George never could handle his lives.
Tasty.
Yeah. George will return.
Rise from your grave.
Kurt Dog says, I remember years and years ago, Rami Cowboy said he wanted to go to Disney, but Mom Brain refused to even entertain the idea. How the tables have turned. Yes. Isn't that funny, Kurt Dog? She went down there because her parents are there. But what is she doing while she's there? Going to Disney World because
she
her
kinda makes
mother wants to.
Right. She always says that like her mom is making her go, but I don't know. It's kind of sus, as the kids say.
Well, her
You
mom.
underestimate the power of the dark side.
Now that's Disney related. Her mom goes there often alone, which frankly is sad. So yes, Danielle.
Disney World.
How
And
is
her name
that
is Mom
sad?
Brain.
Yeah, but when you go
It's
to
not like
Disney
going to a
World
movie
alone for
She
like
goes-
the 12th time,
No,
like
but-
having someone with you makes it better.
No, but she has annual passes or whatever. Annual passes. So like she can just go
Does her
whenever
mom?
she wants, and she does whatever she wants.
Does
and
her
then she
mom know the
leaves. That's it.
employees by name? She's like,
Yeah. Hi,
They're
Mickey.
called-
Hi, Minnie.
They're called
Oh, yes.
They're called cast
That's when
members.
it's sad.
Do you know why she goes to Disney World? This is not a joke.
Mom Brain's mom. Why she goes to
Yes.
Disney World?
She goes
Because
in particular to do one thing.
it's the happiest place on earth.
No.
To spread a deceased loved one's ashes amongst the park.
That is not allowed. And no, she goes because she likes to look at the flowers.
What?
They do
Listen,
a great job.
You go to
And
Disney
do a
for
nice
whatever you want, but I don't
Whatever.
For why?
for however you
Whatever.
want.
They do have nice flowers, but I mean, you could
Yes, continue.
you
Yes.
could probably
Yes.
find nice flowers
You could
anywhere.
probably grow flowers at home.
You go.
No,
to a
listen, she can go
florist
wherever she
shop
wants,
for nice
wherever she
flowers.
wants. But she can go for whatever reason she would like. But yeah, I don't know how many people are like, "Ooh, the flowers! I got to go see the flowers at Disney." But
Oh,
if
well,
it
there's a
makes her
whole-
happy, it makes her happy.
There's a
That's
whole
all that
flower
matters.
show that takes place there. So yeah, people definitely go
What's it called?
the Disney flower thing.
That's exactly what it's
I
called.
don't believe you.
No, it's like there's springtime.
No, I don't believe that's the name.
Does the
Right.
annual pass come with free meals?
Flowers, yes.
I was
You
gonna
get the
say,
big
man,
one
I mean,
bou-
maybe she's like,
Get the
I
big
don't
one
have to pay
bouquet.
for lunch every day. I can go
Now
and get
see,
a free
that's
lunch.
smart thinking. If that was the case, yeah,
Did you
definitely.
hear
There's that
the
guy who
story?
did that at Six Flags, right?
Yeah, yeah.
He lived close enough so that he went there twice a day, and that's all he did.
He's
He-
dead now. You can't eat chili dogs and popcorn like
He did
twice a
it.
day
Yeah,
every
He
day.
and
did
for-
it for
he got
years,
himself out
and
of
he's
debt,
still
paid
alive.
off.
There's that other guy who built that backpack to funnel in like Mountain Dew or Coke or whatever, I forget, like he had a free refill cup that was part of their
Mhm.
whatever package, and but the cups have NFC stuff in the bottom of them, so they know how many times you're filling them in an hour. So sometimes you go to a vending machine or a Coke machine and you put the cup under, and it's like you can refill your cup in 14 more minutes or something. So once he figured that out, he
What if
built a
you're thirsty?
backpack to just store drinks all day because he had this pass, and he took home like 3 gallons of soda every day. It's just
He
crazy.
probably lost a lot of weight too, because carrying all that extra weight
right?
around.
That's crazier than going for just the flowers.
Actually, he probably didn't lose a lot of weight because he's consuming all of that sugar syrup water, like all
Maybe he's just selling it online.
fountain beverage.
You know,
He was
they're-
getting diet soda.
how do you sell?
No, that's gotta have more
How do you
sugar
sell
in it than
backpack-
your average
How do you
soda.
sell backpack cola online?
People will buy
Yeah, you
anything online.
remodel it.
You're right.
People buy.
Ooh.
I can't even get into
Your
it.
stinky
People buy.
socks.
Yes, let's say that people buy your socks. There you go. There it is.
So quote of the conversation here, Freddie Fro. Whoa, RMC's over here yucking his fiance mother's yum.
That's what I live for. Anyone remember Tab?
Oh, here's
says
an
Mime
actual
Iconic Claws.
photo
Yes,
of the
we
guy
do.
stealing
That's what
soda.
I'm looking at. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Here you go, Luke.
It's an actual file. That was a photo taken at the parks.
You can
Show
tell the
camera.
guy is nobody would suspect him because he's wearing that very not suspicious hat
Yeah,
and pair of
sunglasses.
sunglasses, and also somehow turning his head completely around while he's filling this thing. All right,
Yeah.
Let's move on.
Geniuses of our
I wish
generation.
my mom would ask me to go to Disney World. She just wants me to go to like church and stuff.
They don't have a church at Disney World you guys can go together?
Well, if you go to church and then one day when you get to heaven, they'll let you in, and that's like being in Disney World every day.
Yeah, it's too much work while I'm here, though.
All right, moving on. We have a rumor.
No one cares about me.
Why that?
I really like Sonic.
All right. We have a rumor that Ubisoft is working on a sequel to Immortals. Immortals Phoenix Rising was basically Zelda Breath of the Wild, but with a different skin and not as lovingly crafted, but not a bad game by any stretch. And it seems that the game has done well enough to warrant a sequel. So rumor has it.
Was not fun.
Reggie, your thoughts on Immortals Phoenix Rising?
What's wrong with you?
That was a nice bait and switch,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Game is not fun.
Oh, Reggie says no fun. Yeah, man, that just really made me laugh. They are.
Is the game fun? The game is not fun. What's wrong with you?
I can't make up his mind.
Not gonna lie, I'm sweating a little bit. It's apparently working on a sequel, and we're gonna hear about it sometime soon. It's being handled by Ubisoft Quebec. Viva J. Sherman. Viva Quebec.
Viva Quebec.
And apparently Ubisoft's got some big event coming up that isn't announced yet, but it's gonna be like E3 style kind of event. Obviously, E3 is not too far off. God help me, but they're going to announce a whole bunch of stuff there. Also going along with this rumor is Ubisoft's working on a new Prince of Persia separate from the remake that they were doing, and this Prince of Persia is going to be a new 2D entry for consoles, which would be great. And also we're going to see a lengthy update on Beyond Good and Evil 2, which would be nice because we haven't seen much of anything since that was announced. And a whole bunch of other stuff too. Is excited.
It's over, Johnny.
Ben Mully says, I hope so. Thoroughly enjoyed this game and all the DLC. Well, yeah, we've seen Ubisoft try establishing new franchises that aren't, let's say, well, just establishing new franchises in general is not something we see Ubisoft do too often. And when they do that, it's usually mature rated content. So when they venture into the area of more family friendly or E for everyone content, it usually doesn't pan out for them. But because of, I guess, how much people loved Breath of the Wild, they were looking for something to mesh with that, and they jumped in on Immortals. I don't know what the total sales for Immortals is, but obviously if there's a sequel coming, it's sold well enough. From a game being greenlit to a game being canceled. Dragelia Lost, which is a Nintendo game on mobile with another company. I forget what the other company is. But Dragelia Lost is coming to an end. So if you're playing Dragelia Lost, the main campaign is ending in July. Now, this could be a case of the main campaign is over and they had this ending planned for a while, and this is just the end point. Or it could be, well, the game's player base has dropped to a point where it's not really viable to continue the game anymore. So whatever the case may be, July is the end of the main campaign, and then service for the game will end sometime thereafter. The Dragelia Lost team shared a whole note about this, but the final part we'll read to you specifically. They said, the Dragelia Lost team would like to thank each and every one of our players, past and present, for your love and support of Dragelia Lost since its launch. It is our sincere hope that you have enjoyed your experience with the game from the moment you started playing it, and we will strive to ensure that you continue to do so for as long as time allows. People seemed to really like this game, and they are hoping Nintendo continues this game on other, more traditional platforms. Yes?
I'm sorry to interrupt. When did it come out? Like, how long has it been?
Let's take it. It's been years.
Yeah.
Let's.
I mean, I know I've heard about it for quite some time, but I don't know exactly how long it's been out. So.
Came out September 27th, 2018. So
almost
4 years.
That's not a bad run.
No, not at all. So yeah, people really enjoyed this game, it seems, and the people who are still playing it are really sad to see it go. And like I said, they're hoping Nintendo continues this franchise elsewhere. Gecko Kitsune says, "My heart is breaking. I've played this game on and off since day one. I've had so many great moments and experiences through it, as well as met many kind and great people. I wish there was some way they could keep it around or make it into a Switch game. The characters are too great to simply be forgotten. It will be dearly missed." That's the tough thing with games like this, because when we were kids growing up, you bought a game, you played it, you had it forever. With something like Dragelia Lost, when the service ends, the game's gone. The game's dead. You can't we don't.
There's no like single player mode that you could just.
Yeah, we don't know. Even if there
know.
is content that remains after the service ends, you're not going to have access to everything when the service was around. So, yeah, I mean, over the years with multiplayer games and all that stuff, you see service ends and that content's just lost forever. It's not going to be. There's not any way to play it ever again. So
yeah, I know that's not huge with Switch, but that's a big thing with like certain achievements in games. Like if you don't get that achievement before the server goes down, then it's like you'll never get that 100% completion rate, and like people complain about that from time to time.
Yeah.
Doesn't anyone care what I think?
But I mean, you've had 4 years. So
yeah. Josh, you're a hardcore gamer. Go ahead. What do you think about Dragelia Lost?
Call of Duty, bro.
Oh, Josh, we have a story about Call of Duty later.
Moving on.
Get to it. I get what you're saying. Moving on. Pokemon Go's April 2022 Community Day has been revealed, and we will be welcoming Stufful, the flailing Pokemon. It will make its debut in Pokemon Go. This Pokemon Go Community Day for April starts April 23rd. It is 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. local time. So wherever you live, 2 to 5 p.m. That's when it's going down. Stufful, the flailing Pokemon, will make its Pokemon Go debut. You might encounter a shiny Stufful while you're out and about. Evolve Stufful during the event or up to 2 hours afterwards to get a Beware that knows the charged attack Drain Punch. You'll need 400 Stufful candy to evolve Stufful and whatever. There's a whole bunch of other stuff in there, but now you go. Now you know that's your Community Day Pokemon. So look forward to that. Get out there. We want more Pikmin Bloom Community Day stuff, Dan. Oh,
Yeah, that's an actual.
You got a story. You want to save that for what you played section?
That was going to be my rumor. You just ruined my rumor of the week.
I didn't say anything.
That's going to be my rumor. Then.
Nicky Hill,
We're
aren't you
talking
excited?
about
Oh,
the same
wait.
thing, right?
No. Yes, we are. Okay.
What am I excited
We're
for?
definitely not to hear his story. Oh, wait, you're not going to be here. Well, I'll make sure we get European releases before you get out of here. How much we got till then? Oh, that's coming up. Oh, I got to do that too. Nintendo's Samantha Robertson is leaving. We've had a lot of
Is that
people
the
leaving
third person to leave now, or was
recently.
Were those two other
Kit and
people that
Krista left because Nintendo's offices, they were shutting down their California offices and only doing the Redmond offices, and they gave all the employees the option to move up there and continue their jobs if they wanted to. And Kit and Krista did not want to relocate, so they parted ways. Samantha, I don't know what her situation is, but Samantha Robertson
she
is
looks
gone.
happy in this photo, so I guess it's an amicable.
That's true. Very happy. She announced on Twitter that she's leaving. She says, last week I wrapped up at Nintendo. It's been an honor to work with such wonderful people, but the pandemic has emphatically underscored that life is short and not to be taken for granted. I have roads yet to explore. And as cliche as it is, there's no time like the present. She shares a lot more on Twitter than that, but now you know why she's going. Many of you, even if you don't know Samantha by name, know her face because she was a part of pretty much every Nintendo Treehouse feature at every E3 for the last 4 or 5 years. She, without a doubt, did multiple segments during these Treehouse presentations, played games, talked to developers, all that good stuff. She was an on-camera personality, but also she was part of the Treehouse team. So lots of fans are sad to see her go. She had a great personality. She was a lot of fun to watch. She did a great job explaining games. So yeah, it's sad to see her go. But who knows where she'll pop up next. We'll see where she goes, and we'll keep you posted. Mine Without a Cause says she should auction off the Nintendo Direct signature leather jacket for charity. She did always wear a leather jacket. And now we said somebody else should get that jacket, but I don't know who's it going to be. bring Reggie back, cram him into that chair. So yes, goodbye, Samantha. You will be missed. Moving on. House of the Dead. Another one that's off. House of the Dead remake is coming to the Switch very soon. The digital version.
Natalia, the sleuth.
Why? Because it's zombies? House of the Dead remake is coming to the Switch eShop on April 7th. There will be a physical version, there will be a physical version if you want. Don't remember what the dates on those are, but they're later. Let's put it this way: later in Europe and later in North America. But if you want the game as soon as possible, April 7th. House of the Dead Reload. That's that game, right?
That was an accident. I'm sorry.
Nothing. Don't worry about it. Shooting zombies, Sega game, light gun, arcade game, and there's been a whole bunch of installments.
On rail shooter, right? I played that back in the day.
Yeah, we all played it. There were multiple installments, but this is the original remade for the Switch. And people had some questions about it, like, hey, can you use the Joy-Con as a light gun? Yes, you can. You can just point at the screen and shoot. Reggie, is House of the Dead remake fun?
Oh.
The game is fun.
Hey, thanks, Reggie.
Okay, seal of approve.
So there's something else. Oh, it will. So it has gyro controls basically, and people asked. I should say this: a Nintendo Life interview is where we got this information. So thanks to them.
Gyroscopic control, right? What do we call those?
Gyro controls. Yeah.
You can't just say gyro because people might think that
it's
you're
pronounced hero.
Yeah, and people might think you control it by
Gyroscopic controls.
Gyroscopic controls. Lube is right.
I gotcha.
Delicious. Ooh, tasty.
I like how you're saying soundboard clips.
Delicious.
And you have the soundboard in front of you.
It's this last page is really stinking hard. There is so much on here.
It's gonna be redone.
It's gonna be okay.
It's not gonna happen. Also, the game will have a dual wield mode that they're calling cowboy mode. So basically 2 6 shooters where you're using both Joy-Cons to shoot. And then people are like, but I want a peripheral. How am I supposed to say this word? Peripheral?
Peripheral.
That's how I used to say it, right?
Peripheral.
Do I say peripheral or peripheral? Peripheral.
Peripheral.
Right.
Peripheral.
Just slur it so people don't even.
They were like, I want a gun shell to use for this game. And when the dev team was asked about that, when Forever Entertainment was asked about that, they said they were working on some projects in that area and, quote, maybe one of them will come to life. So if you're hoping for, you can buy some third-party accessory to cram your Joy-Con in there.
Cats.
There's like a big buck hunter game for the Switch. You can get like a giant orange rifle, a shotgun to put your Joy-Con in if you really want to.
I don't understand cowboy mode. Isn't that just like 2-player mode?
Outstanding.
What? Or is it? Oh, I guess.
Like pew, 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 pew.
Amazing.
Yeah, you just put 2 players on and use both joysticks. Or is it you can play 2 people with 4 joysticks? They each get 2.
So you're saying you could do cowboy mode on your own just by
Fantastic.
adding a second player?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I used to do. I didn't know it was called cowboy mode. It should be called do mode.
Outstanding.
Well, I'm thinking like when you do it this way, when you get 1 power up, it applies to both your guns. If you were doing 2-player, you'd have to point with the gun you wanted to get the power up to get that power up.
That was the worst part about do mode.
What did you play do mode in?
I just made it up. I wanted it to be a story. I wish you didn't keep asking questions about it. I thought I would have looked cool.
I really liked picturing you as a kid doing. I was trying to think of like what you would play as a kid on, I guess, the Genesis or the PlayStation.
No, it wouldn't have been anything. It would have been something on like I don't know,
like do with 2 like Genesis Menacers, like playing. I don't even know what the hell
I
gun
had
games there are on
Zappers, man.
Genesis.
Zapper is still the best gun ever for
Gray
any
or
system.
orange?
I had the gray one. I always wanted the orange one, but looking back, I think gray is cooler now.
I mean, that's wrong, but okay. Well, let's take a vote. Let's take a vote here and in the chat. Zapper, gray or orange? Which one is cooler? Gray, raise your hand.
Yes.
Well, orange still wins. I'm sorry, Lou. You tried, but
Well, when I was a child, I wanted the orange one, and I was jealous that I didn't
the
have
orange
it.
makes
but-
more sense. It's safer when you're going out hunting.
Oh yeah.
I was trying to think of that same
Yeah.
shtick.
All right, so chat says Tall Show says spice, so that's orange. Highly Likely says orange. Colma says orange. Grantimus says orange. Takamoto says orange. Drake says orange. Giant Reggie says orange. Naka says orange.
Man, look at the pictures though. That gray one's so hot
It's pretty slick.
with the red trigger.
I like the trigger on the gray one,
way
yeah, but
better.
it's like
way better. To be honest, the orange one doesn't look as
Yeah,
good
I mean,
as it
that
did
orange
when I
one's
was
gonna
9.
get dirty and gross.
What are you, an old mother?
Yeah.
Oh, my
I don't
gun's
know.
gonna get dirty. You're gonna
Dirty
see
and gross.
fingerprints on that gun. What are you
Yeah.
killing someone with it? A real person?
Sometimes
My fingerprints are gonna show
Oh,
up.
there's
on
a
that
couple people said gray. I mean, at least I'm not,
Yeah, I mean,
at least
yeah,
Lube and
see,
I are not the only
Romy
two that
Cowboy
said-
Let's
cherry
just-
picked everyone who said
Did I?
orange to
You
make it
look at that
seem
list.
like
You
it
look
was
at
that list.
overwhelmingly
I skip
orange.
There's
anybody that
only
said gray.
2 other people that like gray, but it's first of all, it's all subjective, and second of
Yeah.
all, it looks cool.
Second
both
of all,
ways.
orange
I
sucks.
think it's mostly just that like orange was the one that I grew up with, so it's
I had orange. My cousin had gray.
How did you get an orange one? Like, wasn't I feel like
He runs a Nintendo news site.
But I mean, wouldn't you have gotten the Nintendo? Or actually, you talked about this in that interview on Game Explain. You didn't get a Nintendo until a little bit later, and that's why you got Zelda 2 in the bundle.
You got
So
it.
you got the orange.
Somebody's made up bundle.
So
yeah.
I technically was a Nintendo fan before you.
Well,
were.
that's the question I was going to ask. Which gun was the original gun?
It has to be the gray gun. They wouldn't have gone from orange to
even know.
gray. They went from
Yeah.
gray
I
to
can't even
orange.
remember what one I
That's
had
what
when
I
I was
thought.
little. I think I
That
had
was the deal.
orange.
Somebody in the chat's got to know this. Which color was
But
first?
we-
But why
I
would
had
they?
gray.
it
We bought our
wouldn't make
Nintendo
sense.
from a garage sale.
Naka
so
says
I
gray
think
was
I
the
had
original.
gray.
I'm going with Naka. So yes, I'll turn over the keys to GoNintendo to you, my friend.
Oh well, okay.
No.
We're shutting this place down. We're putting up porno ads.
We're shutting it down and putting up porno ads. Mine Without a Cause says they made the gun orange because kids were getting shot with toy guns. Makes sense.
Yeah, that's
here we
what
go.
I figured.
Colma
Yeah,
says
recently.
NES Zapper original gray 1985, re-release Zapper 1989 orange. There you go.
Man.
There you go.
Yeah,
When
so
did you get your?
I must have gotten it in '88 then.
Wow.
I mean, I was 6 years old. Wow.
Did you 88?
I 88'd all my life.
Josh Grobot, it's that time, my friend. Can you please throw us to our commercials? Whenever you're ready, of course.
Commercial. Oh, I forgot about that.
Josh, anytime you want.
I think it's on the other thing.
I already
That's why I
cleaned
was
up.
looking. Is it in the Josh file?
How the hell do I know?
Oh, I didn't
Because
know.
you're the
Just
one who
ask
built
Josh.
it. Josh, where are the ads? Josh,
We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.
Thank you, Josh.
Josh, you should really put that in your.
Previously on Chat of the Wild.
Did anyone get all the bugs for Agatha?
No,
No.
I meant to, and I even had a bug that I could have given back to her, and I forgot.
That bug is
So
gone.
don't go
forever.
in there if you do and then not give it to her.
I know.
She can smell it on you.
She knows. I know you have
I
bugs.
know you're holding out on me. I can smell it.
Did anyone get all the pose?
No.
No, God, no.
Chat of the Wild, breaking down Zelda and Zelda-like games, one dungeon at a time. Wednesdays on the HyperX Podcast Network.
Sequelcast 2 and Friends looks at movies and video games and franchises, one movie and game at a time. Hosted by Matt Bradley Shergi, Thrasher, and Alex Miller, been going since 2009, and we're part of the HyperX Podcast Network.
Thank you, Josh.
Moving on.
Moving on.
I know you have more bugs.
Yeah, man, that was almost like word for word from one of our podcasts.
That Agatha's a freak. Nicky Hill, you got to go soon, right?
Yes.
Do you want to hop in your European releases?
European sweet.
If you don't mind, I mean, I don't have to.
I mean, we do mind, but
Moving on.
Anyway. Oops, sorry, Josh.
What are the next European masterpieces? Let's find out with Nicky's sweet releases.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Josh.
He's a real sweetheart. If he only had a heart.
If he only.
He's a real sweet release.
Oh,
He's a sweet bot.
all right, Nicky Hill, tell us what's up in Europe in only the way you can.
The week of March 24th, 2000, in the year of our Lord 2022, in Europe. First one. Oh, it's a big one. Big popular one. We should have done this news story first. Kirby in the Forgotten Land. And that's available as a physical release.
Oh, now are you following the Gregorian calendar or the Eastern Orthodox calendar?
Greco-Roman. So- I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Rune Factory.
More or less.
5.
Morales.
Since this is Europe, I'll say Rune Factory. 5. A place for the unwilling. Airy. Did I say that one?
That's how I'd say it.
Calm Mind 2. Androdunos 2.
Androdunos is a shmup or shoot 'em up
I was
that
going to
came
say
out.
that was the kid from school, right? He was a real shmup. That guy.
This came out 30 years ago. So this sequel is new and just came out now. 30 years after the original game got a sequel.
It's kind of like that.
Clamoring for it.
What was that game? Oh no, it's a totally different story. Never
Totally
mind.
different.
Okay.
The one with Jimmy Fallon, and it was they made the new game now, but they were like, oh, we discovered the old 8-bit version of this game.
Oh yeah,
Dark Void?
Yes,
Dark
thank
Void.
you. I couldn't remember the title.
What was the name of that one? Dark Void what?
Zero?
Zero. That one was good. The other
I
Dark
beat
Void.
it, actually. I remember playing through it.
It beat me.
The main Dark Void was not good.
Ooh,
I remember the reviews being pretty bad.
this one, this next game is named after Lube. I'm so glad Lube is here for this.
Mm-hmm.
Bouncy Boy in Puzzle Land.
Bouncy Boy in Puzzle Land.
Who's
That's
called
what
him
they call
Bouncy
me.
Boy? Growing up, that was all.
That's right.
Before his
Here
name was
comes
Lube, he
Bouncy
was
Boy.
Bouncy Boy.
Oh, I thought it was Puzzle Land.
Here comes Puzzle Land again.
Broken Pipe. Bunny Memory, just in time for the old Easter holiday celebration. A couple weeks before. Chippy. Where's my Chippy at? Devastator. Disco Cannon Airlines. That does not sound like an airline I want to fly.
What is a disco cannon?
Play the game to find out.
Be careful who you ask.
Yeah.
Kraken Academy. Mini Words Collection. Nico and the Cubic Curse. Sky Gamblers. Air Supremacy 2. Super Nanaru.
He's right.
Taco Bon, I guess.
Not TACO, TAQO. So not taco.
I should start reading
Taco.
along with these.
Take
It's probably
care.
way funnier.
Tempest 4000. Ooh.
Yep.
The Pizza Delivery Boy Who Saved the World.
Whoa.
It's a visual novel, but like it doesn't. It's like real life people. It's all like real people. It's not full motion video, as far as I know. It's just stills, but it's
Like-
real people.
Like Tom Goes to the Mayor.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god.
Thunder Kid. Hunt for the Robot
Thunder
Emperor.
Kid.
That's all one title.
Yes, Thunder Kid, Hunt for the Robot Emperor.
Emperor.
Well, how are you supposed to say Ultreya,
Very
Valis
nice.
2, Valis 3, Valis the Phantasm Soldier.
3 separate titles. Yes, all the Valis games.
What are Valis games?
Phallus games?
I don't know. Valis games. Yeah.
World Soccer Kid and Dreamhouse Days DX, but that's just a demo.
Thank you, Nicky Hill. Appreciate
Thank you, Raw Meat Cowboy.
Well, I'll just keep with the trend and I'll go into the North American ones and get them over with. Kirby in the Forgotten Land, Cry Star, Airy, Calm Mind 2, Agent Intercept, Andro Dunos 2, Bunny Memory, Clutter 1000, Devastator, Ikai, Jumpy Mia, Kurokami Sama's Feast, Nico and the Cubic Curse, Nun Massacre, Ratty Viddy Land.
Nun Massacre.
I'm sorry.
Oh my god, it really is.
Massacre,
It's spelled
yeah.
none. Wow.
Yes, like it's a horror game about a nun that's trying to kill you.
I thought
It
was
looks
about a bunch
pretty
of dead
cool, to tell you the
nuns
truth. You should look up the trend.
Nun Massacre would make me think that you go
and kill
kill a bunch of nuns.
That
Yeah.
was my
The Nun is on a
thinking.
massacre. I believe the working title was Night of the Nun.
That makes more
This guy.
sense.
I would call that none on the run.
None your business.
None of your business.
None of your business.
Sorry, Kirby. Super Nanaru. Takeoff, the flight simulator. Taco Bon, the pizza delivery boy who saved the world. Thunder Kid, Hunt for the Robot Emperor. WRC 10, the official game. And Zombie Beyond Terror, FPS Survival.
Whoa.
There are your releases. Guy Bone says, finally, Kirby, feeling like this may be a potential game of the year, for me at least.
What is FPS?
First
person
person
shooter
shooter.
survival. I don't know why. Oh God, he's on the Nun Massacre.
That was great.
If only the Zapper was orange instead. This would have never happened.
No, I think if it was orange, they wouldn't take you seriously. You want the gray.
Why did I not could remember?
Huh?
First person S shooter.
Because you were still thinking of dinosaurs with leather coats with the DLC.
Which made it into last week's
So what does
picture.
FPS really stand for then, Kirby?
Farts per second.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Nicky Hill, would you like to talk about the next story before you go? It's Kirby ball related.
Oh, I
Well,
wanted
you put
to
it in your
mention that.
balls folder.
So yesterday, I went. I've got two.
That's what they call it, mouthful mode.
So I mean, so the. I guess you want to tell the story first. The news.
The news is Target
doing a
location.
promotion.
Man, you asked me.
Go for it.
Target is doing a special advertising promotion for Kirby and the Forgotten Land,
Real
where if you go to their store, they have shopping bags with Kirby's face on them, but also the outside of the store is they're called ballards, which is the basically the giant red balls that are outside of Target, or anything that is put up that's meant to stop cars from crashing into a building.
I didn't know about
those are red spheres at Target, and Nintendo is turning those into Kirby's, so they're putting like Kirby covers on them to make them look like giant Kirby's. Nicky Hill, you may continue.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I've got 2 Target stores near me, and both of them, the heck was that? Have ballards. And I was like, I'm gonna go check it out. So I went to both of them, and I wasted a bunch of time going to look. And
What's wrong with you?
Oh,
I'm in control now.
You're controlling this one?
Do I have to be?
Nice.
Anyway, so yeah, neither of the ones that I went to had these Kirby heads out there on the ballards. But then I went to a third Target in a different location last night, and I'm happy to report to you all
It's not gonna happen.
that it did happen.
Oh, neato.
He found them. Yes, Kirby Hill. Wow, Kirby Hill. Nicky Hill found the Kirby's at a Target and took
Feel
pictures
real
of
good
them.
too. Like it.
Soft.
You felt them?
Yeah. Well,
You wouldn't feel them if you
it's
saw
like
them.
You gotta
I
feel them.
would.
You gotta
it's
feel
like a
them.
satiny like
What's wrong
material.
with you?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Feel real good. Yeah.
All right.
They feel soft.
Yeah. Didn't you ever want to know how Kirby feels?
Does he feel
Honestly,
like?
look,
Does he feel like pants?
I'm not telling people to do this.
I'm
but, like,
telling people, go touch them.
If there was a
Touch
way
Kirby.
to acquire
Yeah,
one of
horny.
these after the promotion is over, yeah, you acquire it, you fill it with stuffing, and you have a very comfortable pillow.
And it's a homemade pillow of yours.
And it was also outside in the rain and the elements for a while too.
Oh, I didn't even think of that. It's gonna be all
No,
soggy
you
and
can
moldy.
wash it. Just put it in the washing machine.
Yeah, put it in the wash. It's got a pool in the back.
Yeah.
You blew it.
It's free.
But
that is
But yeah, no,
gross.
actually, I didn't even think about stuff in it. The first thing I thought of is getting like one of those big exercise balls that you get,
Yeah.
and like putting it over that, and you have Kirby just hanging out with you. So I guess
Do your squats on.
half of them have their mouths open like they're inhaling, which
Never inhale.
the longer I look at that, it makes it look like it's just a Kirby with a mustache.
Oh, now I'm gonna have to take a look at it.
Oh, maybe a little.
He's got a brown mustache.
Oh,
A little
See
bit.
where you're getting
You
it
keep
from.
looking,
Yeah.
and it
you keep looking.
like the longer I look at that, the more.
Yeah, you gotta like squint.
The more you
Oh,
lie to yourself about it, the more you can see.
Yeah.
The more you tell yourself it's there, the more you'll see it.
Unless he
So his
inhaled
mouth
Mario.
says no.
and that's his powers. The mustache.
Oh,
Now here he's going,
what's the
and here
part about
he's just
being
like,
mustache? Definitely mustache. So go out to your local Target while you can, still can, and you may see these things there. And maybe if you ask Target politely, some employee there who doesn't care will say, "Yeah, just take it."
Or they'll say, "What are you talking about?"
Yeah, and
I
then
didn't see,
you'll be like, "The Kirby thing's out front," and then they'll go, "What are you talking about?" Wink, wink, and then you go, "Oh," and then you say, "The Kirby thing's out."
And you go and you ask the guy if they're going to put them back out for another promotion. They're going to say, "I don't know."
Giant Reggie says Nintendo's got some big balls pulling off this targeted advertising.
My body is ready.
So there you go. Head to Target. Who doesn't like Target, right?
No, but what I wanted to say, I said to Rami yesterday is,
what I wanted to say, I said to Rami yesterday.
Wow.
That's just what it sounded like to me.
That's what you sound like, Nicky. That's what you sound like.
Wow.
Is just that I love that when a Kirby game comes out, like that's the one that gets like they promote it, and but they also promote it in like strange ways. Like I've never seen Target ever do anything with those ballards before.
So many companies missing out.
And then the other big promotion that they did
round
like,
mascots
15 years ago or something was the Kirby. I don't remember which Kirby game it was.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
it had to be the one where he felt like pants. What the hell is that called?
He felt like pants?
Kirby's Air Ride.
The ground feels like pants.
Yeah,
Kirby's Air Ride.
and the oh shoot, what was it?
Epic Yarn.
Epic Yarn. Yeah.
Thank you.
And they had the big like the foam float away things. I don't even know what the heck to call those.
I forgot all about that until you said it. Yeah, that was
like,
really cool.
But there were like newspaper articles about it. Like they sent it out to everybody, and it was just like, "Oh, up in the sky, Kirby!" And people are like, "Who the heck is Kirby?
No, they know.
This guy,
the Target guy.
This guy's floating away."
I'm trying to think of other round mascots.
Jigglypuff.
Oh, I was thinking like outside of Nintendo.
Oh, well, forget it. There's one.
Oh, you know,
those,
right?
those,
Mr. Met.
Yeah, he's get the hell out of here.
What about those?
There's got to be one other ball-shaped mascot.
I was gonna say those Kia
Pac-Man?
hand
Kool-Aid
tools.
Man.
You could do it.
Yeah, Kool-Aid Man.
This is
maybe,
the best
yeah.
answer we got. What'd you say, Kirby?
Pac-Man.
Yes, that would really work. Definitely.
I'm sure the
Outside
chat
of
has
video
something.
games, there's got to be a ball-shaped character. Can they bring back 7-Up Spot? I know he wasn't a sphere, but it's close, right?
Yeah,
He was a spot.
I mean, the target balls already are red, so you just got to put some.
Colma
put
says
some
Sonic
others on.
does get into a ball. That would work too.
no,
They
the-
just paint him blue and be like, "It's
Oh,
Sonic."
and then
The sun on the
Drake
box of
University.
Kellogg's Raisin Bran.
One of the M&M's Drake Gamer, you're
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Rystar was a black sphere underneath that star. Yes, you're
Nintendo,
right.
Nintendo says Walmart did
The
have the smiley face.
New target promotion.
That's great.
So
Target, listen, we got an idea. We don't know if we're going to go for it.
did people look at the Target smiley face and think that was something with like Watchmen or something ever, or like Watchmen having like
You
the
mean
little
the
blood
Walmart
drip on
smiley
it?
face?
That's what it is.
No, I
Target.
don't think
Oh
they
man,
did.
my brain doesn't work.
No, never happened.
All right,
All right.
moving on.
Well,
Don't you say it.
How you doing?
There's a massive interview about Kirby and Forgotten Land that Nintendo did internally. So it was Nintendo and HAL talking about Kirby. Just in case you don't know, I'm sure you do. This is the first fully 3D Kirby game ever. And Nintendo historians and Kirby fans alike might know that both companies were trying to make a fully 3D Kirby game for roughly 20 years. And they just didn't like how it was coming together and shelved it a million times. But they finally put together something that they were proud of and that they liked, and now it has arrived, Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So in this interview, they talked a lot about how they face so many struggles in trying to create a Kirby 3D game because Kirby's very hard to represent in a 3D game because he's a sphere, and they need certain angles of Kirby when he's standing still. You're like, Which way is he facing? Which way is he looking? Which way is he going? Unless you see his face as reference, it can be really hard to figure that stuff out. And they also said some of his moves and movement patterns are hard to do in 3D. So they went through a whole bunch of different stuff to try and figure out how to make things work. And it took them 2 decades pretty much to make it happen. So,
and for 2 decades, they kept working on it, and the only answer they got was
the game is not fun.
I don't think they were asking Reggie for approval.
They worked so hard to make such an easy game.
Oh,
I'm just kidding. I know that's a hot topic. I wanted to see what RMC's reaction.
No, go ahead. If you want to go back to the dark side, we can do.
Is that what this is?
I want to play the game, to be honest.
It's a game for babies.
Kirby games are easy. Yes.
Yeah.
Probably a little too hard for you, but. What the hell? Got it. Well, it's got some, I don't want to say difficult, challenging mode in it, but no, you lost your chance.
You know, it's like, you know, you need to say challenging for a Kirby game.
Yeah, like I don't remember what it's called, but in their interview, they just said like they start from the spot of making it easy because that's the purpose of a Kirby game, and then they added in a more challenging mode. I mean, that's how I'm playing the game now. I wouldn't say it's challenging, but I forget what it's called. I don't know, spicy mode or something. I don't know.
Spicy mode.
Spicy. Sokar says, I just hope that this does not take away from future 2D Kirby games. 2D platformers are the best way to play platformers, all in all. Well, you'll be happy to know that in a later interview, they specifically said just because this Kirby game is 3D does not mean, there you go, that future Kirby games are going to be 3D. So your fears have been assuaged.
Let 3D Kirby have his day in the sun before you start
saying
right. that already. I mean,
you have like literally almost every Kirby game has been 2D. They do one 3D Kirby game, and somebody's like, "Oh, what? Get back to 2D Kirby!"
But please, 3D Kirby, put some sunscreen on. You've got such a fair, light complexion. You're going to be in the sun. You don't want to get burned.
Kirby was in the sun in all other games.
No, we've all been thinking this. We've all been worried about his skin.
You're right. You're right.
That
Lube, how much would you pay for a Barbie video game?
What generation?
What system?
Yeah.
Does
For
it matter if it's
$1.
system you have?
No.
3DS.
3DS, about $100.
Well, one game collector out there who owns every physically released 3DS game. So that, as of right now, is 419 titles.
Okay.
They needed one game to complete their collection, and that game was Barbie, Groom, and Glam Pups on the 3DS.
I remember when that game came out. I remember talking about it on the podcast.
That game,
it had a limited release.
That game. Did you read this article, or do you really remember?
I remember.
You're
What are you
exactly right.
I know I'm right.
You read this beforehand.
Yeah, I went on your website
It's true.
before I went on your podcast to research what I'm talking about.
Well, Lube, I take it back. I take it back. It's a stupid question. And I should know anything that has anything video game related that is also dog related is near and dear to your heart. So,
Dog Island.
Dog Island
related. Specific.
Barbie, Groom, and Glam Pups. Lube is 100% right. It had a limited release in Europe. It's in Australia. It's a regular release, but in North America, it only released in Canada. So the North American physical version is extremely hard to find, and that is the one this collector wanted. And they have completed their collection. They found a North American, more specifically Canadian version of Barbie, Groom, and Glam Pups, and they only had to pay $1,600 for it. So their purchase of this single-handedly has driven up the market, and now future purchases of this game are going to be very pricey. Just a few years ago, you could get a copy for a modest $700, but now that this is sold for $1,600, and there's so few North American copies to go around, you can. This is just going to only grow in value from this point on.
There's got to be like people with that in their basement somewhere. You know, like I bought this for my daughter. You know, and she's in college now.
Yeah, unopened copies sit somewhere. Yeah, somebody's got them. Yeah, I do not have a copy of this.
She's in
one.
college now, and she sold her 3DS.
Still
I don't think she's
loves
ever
it.
going to open this and play it. Thought she loved me.
So yeah, if you have that game, or if you've seen a copy used somewhere, you might be able to get it very cheap and then sell it for quite a pretty penny.
If you're in Canada.
Well, I would imagine
Pretty
North American
loose.
copies
Some will
could have
filter
filtered
down
down
there,
into the States. Yeah.
I have something to
Because
say.
we are also North America. Yes. You're leaving.
Yeah, what gave you that impression? I have to go.
Okay. Is
Sorry.
that?
Should
I
I
feel like
unplug this?
Leave them wanting more.
no, don't unplug it. I don't want to screw with anything.
Kirby, there's going to come a time when you're going to have to press this button. Make sure you're ready for it.
Nicky Hill, could you send us off with any sound clip of your choosing?
No.
Thank you, Nicky Hill. Goodbye. Well, that was.
Should
I
I
believed
unplug
you for a
this? You want me
second.
to
No,
unplug it?
don't unplug it.
I'm afraid to like aim it somewhere. It's going to pick up other sounds.
You're
So
okay.
feedback.
Just put it down.
Yes.
Put it down,
You can
Bart.
put it on the chair, maybe.
No, don't do
Put
it.
it down.
You're fine.
Put it back.
Lou, I am entrusting you.
With the soundboard?
And Trusto.
Oh, yeah, with this.
If Kirby acts up.
There he is. Get
See
him.
you.
Get him.
See you.
Goodbye, Nicky Hill. Thanks for coming. We'll see you next week.
care.
No, yeah.
Thanks for wearing that shirt.
Next week. Okay. Mr. Aran says, "Oh my God, I worked on the port of this game. How could it be worth so much money? And why don't I seem to have a copy?" Oh, Nicky Hill's
I'm
back.
sorry, is that Samson Iran?
Oh,
No.
he got one in. He got one in.
Goodbye,
Quick,
everybody.
maybe he'll have another joke before he gets out the door. Quick, keep reading.
Can you believe that he said goodbye and then he came back?
I
can't
can't.
believe.
No, it's just like
Not very
every
unlike
single
him.
time.
Man, that's that's cool. There's a developer on the game in there.
Is that
and
what
I
it
didn't even
sounded
realize that. We're gonna skip
Mr.
that.
Samson Iran.
Very quickly, I'm going to say for today and tomorrow. Today's the 26th, right? Yeah. Today and tomorrow, if you live near Universal City Walk Hollywood, you can go there and check out a special Kirby exhibit that Nintendo put together to celebrate the launch of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. There's statues, there's photo ops, there's all kinds of other stuff. There's a big
ballards.
mouth, all the ballards you go on. There's big mouthful mode entryways that you can walk through. So only 2 days. There's a website that you can go to sign up for early access if you don't feel like waiting in line. If you go to our article on Top Stories, you can get that link and get your ticket and blah, blah, blah. So go do that. Josh, it's your time. I told you that we had Call of Duty to talk about, and now we are talking about Call of Duty, bro. So here's
Call of Duty, bro.
Thank you, Josh. I'll say what we know for a fact.
Shout out to my bros.
What we know for a fact is Microsoft.
I'm a hardcore gamer.
Thank you, Josh. Microsoft President Brad Smith said, quote, "We would like to bring Call of Duty to Nintendo devices," end quote. As you will remember, Activision is now owned by Microsoft. So Call of Duty is a Microsoft franchise, and that game will go wherever they want it to go. And they specifically said they want it on the Switch. That is a fact. Now, here is the rumor. Rumor has it that we already know what Call of Duty game is going to go to the Switch. Now, you might know that the next Call of Duty game isn't going to come next year. It's going to be everything all right out there?
I heard something out the window and I was like, I know Nicky Hill. Like, I wouldn't put past Nicky Hill to
Run
like
to the
be
window.
out there and like doing something. But no, it's just the neighbor. I was spying on the neighbor.
We know next year there's not going to be a Call of Duty game. They're taking a year off. But that might not be the case for Switch because Switch has had no Call of Duty games. The last Call of Duty game Nintendo fans got was on the Wii U in 2013. So they will want to reintroduce the Call of Duty franchise to Switch owners. And they may do so with Call of Duty Modern Warfare Remastered. That came out on PS4 and Xbox One and PC in 2016. And it would be a great title to bring to the Switch to reintroduce the franchise to Switch owners. You know, plenty of them already know what Call of Duty is and play it on other platforms, but still, it's a great game to go with. So that is the rumor that is happening. And that's what Microsoft has picked as bringing the entry point for Call of Duty on the Switch. Whether that happens remains to be seen. But again, it is a fact that Call of Duty is coming to the Switch. Yes.
How did you know?
I could hear.
What was I doing?
You went like this. You went like this.
Wow, amazing!
I hear mouth noises.
Incredible. I was just gonna say, with peace and love, you know, enjoy the game if you're.
And I say this
interested in
with peace and love.
Yeah, but you know, I'm not gonna be playing these. But with peace and love, you guys enjoy. Congratulations, and I'm glad they have success.
With peace and love.
With peace and love. though.
With peace and
Yes,
love.
congratulations. And
All
also peace
Call
and
of Duty games are going in the bin with peace and love. Sestry says, actually, the last. Oh, yeah, because I made a mistake. Clark 2K says, great. I'm ready for some multiplayer FPS on Switch. Oh, Nicky
What
Hill
does
would
that
know what that
stand for,
means
though?
now. Oh, farts per second.
Oh, yeah.
Here is
You get the
in
walking
hope
farts.
it features crossplay. Otherwise, we may see some ghost maps around here. I'm sure plenty of people play Call of Duty on
Ghost
Switch.
maps.
Call of Duty ghost maps. We did that. We did that. Oh, I made a mistake with this story. Did I? Yeah, I did.
Man, sloppy.
I know. Not used to this new site. Hal and Nintendo talked about Kirby and the Forgotten Land during development because obviously the two teams worked together on the game. And Nintendo kept telling Hal, hey, put some more enemies here. Hey, put a few more enemies here. And Hal kept pushing back on the idea because
Their games are too easy.
Hal didn't want to torment Kirby with too many enemies.
But Kirby just eats them anyway.
But they didn't want him to be overwhelmed. So
Overfed.
Hal says, or Nintendo says, I made a point to ask Hal directly, why aren't the stages more densely populated? And their response was that it wouldn't be fair to poor Kirby to surround him with an overwhelming number of opponents. And someone at Hal says, we weren't joking. Everyone on our development staff really loves Kirby, so no one wanted to torment him with an unfair situation. They love Kirby that much that they
So
can't
funny.
stand to see him tortured. Also, they say, we also thought about people who aren't skilled at 3D platformers and wanted to provide them with quieter areas where they could play and explore peacefully. So there you go.
Just think about that, though. You know, Kirby's so lovable. He's never spoken a word, as far as I know, right?
He talks all the time. Yeah, he says hi.
He says hi.
Yeah.
Does he say
He does.
anything else than hi? Or?
He makes noises.
Well, okay. Well, then that endears him a little bit more. I was just gonna say, like, either way, you know, it's pretty incredible because you know if they were doing a Mario game, they would have been like, let's torture this little plumber.
Yeah, he says like hi. He says yeah. He says
Okay, all right. So he says things, but still,
somebody else in
it's great.
Somebody else in the chat that has Kirby said anything else that we're not remembering?
I'm baby.
Oh, Freddie Fro says he called you Chief Rumorologist. That's a great title. So there you go. First comment comes from Smasher89. Oh. They're doing something next door. Smasher89 says, hopefully they torment Meta Knight in a speedrun mode as him instead for post-game. Post-game in general, the part I'm looking forward to the most. So really hope there's a mode like that in this too, as there has been in Triple Deluxe and Robobot. Yeah, there are modes in Kirby games that provide more of a challenge than the main gameplay mode. There's time challenge stuff in the main mode of Kirby and the Forgotten Land. It's certainly, I wouldn't say it's challenging, but it's certainly more challenging than the main story mode. So yeah, that stuff is in there for people. A lot of people don't realize that a good amount of the Kirby games have post-game content that is decently challenging. Not, I'm not talking about like Elden Ring or anything like that, but it's things you might have to run a few times to get the time or defeat all the enemies or whatever. So that content is in there. And then whatever, we already talked about this. Oh yeah, so the Kirby 2D 3D thing, like I said, 4D 3D 3D. Like I said, just because this Kirby game is 3D doesn't mean all future Kirby games will be 3D. Nintendo and Hal both said that. They also said that Kirby games do not have a timeline. They don't make the games based on a timeline, as in this Kirby game happened here and then this game happened next. They're like, we make games that are fun and we worry about gameplay, and there might be mechanics from another Kirby game that we bring over, but that's it. And then on top of that, they were asked, Nintendo and Hal were asked about DLC for Kirby and the Forgotten Land, and they said they have nothing to share at this time. So who knows what happens. But that's part of a huge Washington Post interview, and we did a massive breakdown of the whole thing. But those are the juiciest tidbits. King Broly says the Kirby timeline sits somewhere between bedtime and snack time. There you go, everybody.
All
That's
right.
our top stories for the week.
Man.
Yeah, hi, Video Game Guru. I saw you in there. Nothing to share at this time, aka yes, says Kurt Dog. Yeah, pretty much. Because if there wasn't, they would say no, and if there was, they would not say there was.
Right.
So
We can't comment on rumor and
yeah,
speculation.
exactly. All right. Well, Dew, what have you been doing?
I beat Death Stranding Director's Cut this week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. What a beautiful experience that was. I couldn't tell you what the heck it was about.
What the heck?
Actually, I mean, I could tell you a little bit about what it was about, but it was...
what the heck?
It's very confusing, but it was also very rewarding. A really beautiful game. I loved it. I would say I loved it.
I love it.
The ending is a little obviously I won't spoil anything, but it's like it's like a 2-hour long cutscene. We were gonna like I wanted to like make a pizza and then play Fortnite with you guys, and it was like 7, and I was like, yeah, that's no problem. I got all this time in the world. Like at the beginning of like the last chapter of the game, and it was literally like watching a 2-hour movie, but it's like the last 5 minutes of a 2-hour movie if they made it 2 hours long. And I was like, I don't think I'm gonna happen. Oh, yeah, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to play with these guys. Luckily, I was able to eat and play and see the end of the game. But yeah, so other than a little bit of pacing issues with the very beginning and the very end of the game, story-wise, I would say it's an awesome, unbelievable, unique, beautiful experience. I loved it so much. But even after saying all that, I could never recommend it to everybody just because it's so far out there and I can see people hating it. Like,
you could recommend it, just it's not for everybody.
And I feel like I don't know. Maybe there's people that like it a little, but I feel like it feels like one of those games that's like you either love it to death or you just hate it so much. Maybe there's people in the middle, but I couldn't see it happening. So yeah, loved it. And then Fortnite's the only other thing I played with you guys. We played it because of the new game mode. I'm usually trying to sleep by that time. But I'm glad that I stayed up because we had a good time. I like the no build mode. I like the climbing of like things. You'd be surprised what you can climb. So that kind of takes out the whole like, well, how am I supposed to get on a building or like without building kind of thing. You know what I mean? So it was,
they added a mantle.
Yeah. And it adds a little bit to the gameplay too, because first of all, it takes out the sweaties. And then it
find it, Kirby, find it.
Hey, a sweaty.
So it like kind of reduces the sweaties. Plus, there's a really great like battle bus you can drive around. We were having fun driving around in this battle bus that had like a cannon and a machine gun on it. And there's a tank now too. So like a lot of fun things that we were doing and messing around with, but
it was
still
great. It was great.
Kind of keeping the core of Fortnite fun. So
let's have a little fun.
So yeah, I would say that was good stuff. Maybe we'll talk about it more when you're ready to talk about your games because you're not saying anything. So
I wasn't saying anything on purpose. I didn't want to overtake your section.
Yeah. Well, we played it together. That's the only thing. But anyways, that was it. I'm hoping to play.
Well, here you go. Here, I'll do this with you. Freddie Fro says, Rami and crew, please convince my wife, Rosemary the farmer, to try Fortnite with me. Freddie Fro is your loving husband. It would bring him so much joy if you killed sweaties with him. Just try being a sweaty for a little bit, and it'll make
sweaty.
Josh, do you have anything to say about sweaties?
You're a sweaty.
Well, anything nice to say about sweaties? Trust me.
Sure, whatever.
I feel like you just have to show her a couple of the emotes, and I mean that's what hooked
Don't
me.
Be a sweaty, be a go-getter.
There you go. Thank you, Josh.
I didn't know what it was listed under.
Well, I don't know what you mean. That was Josh. Josh just forgot.
Right, sorry.
You're right. Emotes is a good point. There's so many great emotes. Half the game is emotes. More than half the game is emotes. Dancing after a victory, dancing when you're not supposed to be dancing, getting shot and still dancing anyway. That's what it's all about.
Plus, everybody needs a little Captain Lube to show them the ropes. So if you if you take that time, I'm sure she'll enjoy it.
Freddie Fro, please keep us updated. Let us know if they play with you, and I'm sure she'll say how much of a great time she had. Lube,
Yes.
what do you want to? I mean,
I haven't been
you
on in a
don't have to
while.
talk about everything, obviously, but is there anything you want to talk about?
I've been playing Elder Scrolls V Skyrim Anniversary Edition.
All right.
Yeah.
Love that game.
And yeah, I mean, I played it 10 years ago when it first came out, and I never played it a second time or anything. I never did any of the DLCs. So it's almost like a whole new game with all like the stuff that they've added, like, you know, DLCs that they just added into the Anniversary Edition. And then they had other ones that they just added in as a bonus. So it's a lot of fun and it takes a lot of time. And I've been playing it almost every night, just doing dungeon diving, and I've avoided the main quest, so I'm just
dumpster diving. It's called dumpster
diving, and no main quests, just all side quests. And
there's a main quest in this game.
Yeah,
I can't tell you how long I spent putting books on the bookshelves in my house.
I got
in that game.
Almost every
So
single
stupid.
bookshelf is filled with books, and
I made sure that like all the books were different. You know.
Oh
like,
yeah, I didn't go that crazy.
I went crazy.
And yeah, I made a lot of nails and built 3 houses, and
yeah, making the nails and all that stuff. Oh my god!
and now I'm the leader of the Thieves Guild, and I'm the
great.
mage, the wizard master, and the companion master. I'm a werewolf, and all that fun
is
stuff.
Great.
Yeah,
Are you
it's-
Khajiit this time?
No, I'm a Nord again.
That's right,
I love
you're a
being a Nord. I'm a Nord. Every Elder Scrolls game I've ever played, I've always been a Nord.
But you don't mind stealing from people, right? Like you've gotten over that hump.
Oh yeah, I
You're-
steal all the time.
You steal, you pickpocket.
Well, I have so
What about
much
in the
now
game?
that it's like I don't even care about like stealing.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't even matter. But yeah, I still loot all the dead bodies that I kill and sell everything, even though like I have nothing left to buy. I'm still like, oh, I got 1 million septums, but whatever.
Goodbye, Nintendo.
Love it.
But besides that, I was playing Fortnite, but I haven't done the new chapter or the new season, whatever that
Oh,
started.
it might be my favorite one.
Yeah, well-
it's right there with the
Tony Stark
Marvel one
Island
we did.
was
yeah.
the best. I mean, that's
I played until the end of the last season a week ago, but no one was playing with me, so I stopped
Well,
playing.
we'll play. It's just Dew will back me up when we talk about it. We all figure you're out there collecting plants
Nernroot.
and-
I mean, I keep
calling it
need
minge root,
all
which
the
I know
minge
isn't
root.
right,
I need
and it's
it
also
all.
offensive sounding. But that's what we always say. We're like
But
lubes out there.
If you guys
questing.
need a fourth, just let me know. I'll
we
switch
don't need a
over.
fourth lube.
If you would,
we want a fourth.
well, then you have to.
We
let me
we
know.
already have 4 actually, but we
That's
would
what I
still
figured.
trade off with you, obviously.
All right. But before that, I mean, earlier in this year I was playing Aliens Fire Team. That was a lot of fun, but you need 3 people like on a team to communicate with each other to play that game effectively, because if you really can't talk to your teammates, then it's a hard game. It's a hard game if people aren't on the same page, and you can play it with like 2 AIs, but the AI does a terrible job, and you just
Nothing
can't.
more frustrating in a game with co-op where you have to work with the computer to get stuff done. That sucks.
Yeah, and I couldn't get past
Hi, Solid
like
Master
the
Link.
3rd act of the 1st chapter, because you can't do it with AI, and I couldn't find. I mean, I don't want to say like competent people, but I just couldn't find a team
Yeah.
that I meshed with to get it
Couldn't
done.
find sweaties.
Yeah. But the game is really cool. It looks good. It sounds good. Like the music, the ambience
That's
is
exactly what I
great.
was
The sound effects of the pulse rifle sounds just out of like Aliens, the movie. It's great.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but my mom is in the chat. And she said
Mrs.
her own
Mead.
name for some reason. I don't know why. So she said, Mommy, I love. And she wrote that as a sentence. So, Mommy, I
Yes.
love Fortnite.
Mommy, I love Fortnite. My
So
name
she
is
just wants to
Mommy.
make sure
I love
everybody
Fortnite.
knows who she is by typing her name twice. And then really, that's like something my dad would write. Jeez. Hi, Mom. How you doing? Anyway, go ahead, Luke.
And then other than that, recently I play Tetris Attack with my wife, and she's really good at it.
What are you playing that on?
Xbox.
Tetris?
It might not be
Oh,
Tetris
yeah,
Attack.
yeah,
Whatever
yeah,
Tetris
yeah,
is
yeah,
on
yeah,
Game
yeah.
Pass.
Yeah.
I'm playing that, and it's it's Tetris. It's got some fancy doodads that happen during the game, and
I think it says that on the back of the box now with new doodads.
yeah,
Fancier
the music's
doodads.
different. It's not the classic music, but it's Tetris with some doodads, and my wife's really good at it, and something we could play together. So,
Oh, sounds
That's
like you
it.
love it. Sounds like it's your favorite game.
yeah, my favorite.
It's something I can play with my wife together, and
We play it
it.
sometimes. Whatever.
Is that it?
That I've played. Yeah, I mean, I'm.
Drake Gamer wants to make sure you don't mean Tetris Effect,
Oh, that might be it.
because
There
that's what I
are a
was
lot
thinking.
of special effects that happen in that game, and I may want to replace doodads with effects.
Naka, Josh Grobot Naka wants to know what you have to say about Tetris. Are you feeling anything about Tetris today?
Did you know you can play Tetris for free on Tetris.com?
Thanks.
Wow.
Thanks, Josh. I
Did
did
you
know that.
know you can win money just for playing Tetris?
Josh, I don't know if that's true anymore.
$5,000 is on the line tonight in Tetris prime time.
Josh, I
Wow.
don't know if that's still
Wow,
going
Josh,
on.
that's amazing.
Thanks. Very cool.
Very cool, Josh. You're right.
And I might soon be diving into Elden Ring.
Naka says, I didn't know that. Thanks, Josh. Well, Lube, if you do dive into Elden Ring, I'd be very interested to hear how it goes for you.
Yeah.
Because I
'Cause I'm not
am
gonna
1,000,000% sure you will love the collecting aspect and the open world aspect.
Yeah.
Now, the rest
Well,
of it,
that's why
I
I'm
don't know.
watching my stepson play, and I'm like, oh boy. And then I watch him fight those bosses, and I'm like, oh boy.
Yeah, like I'll talk about it a little bit later.
Yeah.
Kirby, play anything?
Just the same stuff I played last week. Wordle and Solitaire, and but there were also two games I forgot to mention. They're both phone games as well. One was Monument Valley 2, which it's fun. It's basically the same game with a different story, and I guess you play as different characters, but it's not important. It's the same game. So yeah, that's so I'm enjoying that. And I also I tried playing a game called World of Demons, which is actually a platinum game. I think that's what it's called. And yeah, it's like a 3D action adventure game. And it's I don't know, I'm only on like the second level, I think, and it's I just don't think I'm very good at like playing games like this on a phone.
Oh, I like to look at this.
Yeah, it basically looks like
Okami.
Okami or one of those games. Yeah, with cell shading and stuff.
Hmm.
I'm surprised you haven't heard about it.
I did. I don't remember it. This looks nice. Yeah, I if I'm gonna play a game like this, I'm not like, well, I can't wait to play it on the phone. I don't mind games on the phone, but for a game like this, I'd want like a physical controller, which you
Yeah,
could
exactly.
do, but
Because it's
a
one of those
hassle.
games where you need to like dodge precisely to do like a counterattack and stuff like that, and it's just
Looks really cool.
I would
though.
much rather play it on a big TV with a controller.
Yeah.
You're playing that via Apple Arcade.
Yeah, I think that's how I got
You
it.
have an Apple Arcade subscription?
Yeah, I've had it for a while now. You're the one who convinced me to get it.
It's good.
Yeah, if it
I think
hadn't
they're
been-
offering free like 3 months now for some select users.
Oh, really?
Oh, we found something Apple that RMC likes.
It's free.
Well, it's not free.
It's free.
No
Well,
additional
for this
cost.
free trial,
$6.
it's free.
Oh, that's right.
It's free.
All you need is an Apple product.
That's true.
The cost of an Apple phone.
I'm sorry. I forgot we have to do this when Lube's here. Yes.
Right.
It's
For the low cost of an Apple iPhone.
no additional cost. Apple Arcade is no additional cost, but you do need to spend money on an iPhone
Thank
to play
you.
it, or an iPad.
Thank you. I mean, you were misleading your audience.
So basically, it's just $1,000 purchase, and then you get Apple Arcade
yes,
for free
for 3 months.
for three months.
whole
Yes,
months,
that's
yes.
all right. Thank you, Kirby.
No problem.
RMC, what have you been playing?
Oh, thank you, Deux. I played some Fortnite because we wanted to try out the no build mode, and it is great. I love it. I mean, we've had so much fun with Fortnite as it is, but this no build mode adds a whole new feeling to it. It's just a ton of fun. Like Deux was saying, being able to jump and climb up on stuff is great, and you can climb up on things that are higher than you think you should be able to climb. Your character just grabs on and pulls himself up. So You can still get on the roofs of buildings and on top of mountains and stuff like that. But yeah, you know, even for those of us who play who aren't crazy builders, you don't realize how much you build until it's taken away from you, because you can't throw up walls to stop people. You can't build something to get up on top of somewhere. You have to find an organic way to get there. So it changes how you play. There's a lot more hiding behind brick walls and in bushes. And oh man, that we had that situation the other night where that tank came over to the gas station and was lighting all of us up, and I ran to hide in a bush. Were you? You came to the bush.
I think, yeah, I crawled to the bush and
Oh,
you saved me in there, I think.
Yeah, I healed you in the bush, but then they set the bush on fire.
Yeah, they blew up the bush. That turned the entire area around us on fire. Then they ran through us with the tank. I jumped into the back of the tank because I had no other recourse, and I ended up killing the driver because of that. But you know, everyone was chaos.
I went and hid in another bush, but then they also set that one on fire too. But yeah, it's just fun to see everybody scrambling, and battles are a lot more out in the open now, especially if you're not around buildings or any kind of like anything, because you just got to run around and keep moving, and it's just fun. It makes it feel completely different. Yes, Luke.
I do have. So there's no building. Is there still like pickaxing through walls and
yeah
stuff? Okay.
Yeah, you can
So
still do that. You have
down-
materials for, like, you know, lighting fires and stuff if
Okay.
you're doing any of that. But yeah, you can't build anything at all, but you can still pickaxe.
And when you run, you can
there's
do
like,
like
a sprint
dash.
mode, and
like
there's
a sprint,
is
and
there the
then-
overshield type thing?
There's
right?
like
Yeah.
a automatic regeneration
Yeah.
for overshield. It's 50 shield on
Mhm.
top of your regular
Yeah.
100. That regenerates after you get hit. Like Deux said, there is the run, which is like a shoulder barge run. So you can barge through front doors of houses
Oh,
with
neat.
that.
And it
And
gives
you
you
can
a
jump
longer
further.
jump
Yeah, it's like
because of
a
it.
much longer jump because of it. And like Deux said, there's the battle bus you can drive around with guns on it. There's tanks you can get. There's blimps all over the place that are like air fortresses that you can go in and steal stuff from. And I really, really like this update. This update is a ton of fun. And if the data mined information is correct and they do go and offer a mode that's no building, I think that's what I would go with all the time. I just think that's even more fun.
It was fun. It was really fun to play, obviously, with you guys, as it always is. But it was fun to see how excited you got, RMC, because every little thing he would squeal like a child, and like the three, you know, we're old men now, so like the other three of us were like, you know, we like this, but we wish we could get as
We're
excited.
not allowed to emote.
We wish we could get as excited as you, RMC, about, you know, the little things, and I thought that was very special.
When I like I was saying to you, I get sad when I think about that, because I'm like, man, I'm legit really excited about things, and everybody else is either barely mustering to make a noise or is dead silent.
Could
And I'm like,
care
"Oh."
less. Could care.
I'm not gonna lie,
My
I'm
mom-
sweating a little bit.
My mom brings up a great point. She said she loves when you honk the tank's horn. The tank's horn is great.
Beep,
We
beep.
were riding around in a tank destroying people, and I was laying on the horn every time we blew somebody up. And it's such a loud, like billowing horn. Oh, it's so cool.
Beep beep.
That's what it sounds like. Exactly like that. So yeah, if you were staying away from Fortnite because of building, or you were afraid to get into Fortnite because of building, go play it now while this mode is still around,
It
because it's
sounds
a
like I
blast.
would be into this, actually.
I'm sure you would like it. Yeah, it's like the gunplay
I
of
never learned
Fortnite
how to
is
build.
always fun, and there's new guns in there now that feel really good too. But just all of that mixed in with not having to deal with sweaties building towers that we can't compete with. Like, I just can't play that way. But when we're playing just like shooting at each other and hiding behind natural cover, like, I can keep up with that stuff. That's a lot of fun. So it was good. It was good. I played that. Somebody in the chat want to help me. What was the one Genesis game that came to Switch Online? It's the treasure one, but it's not the run and gun one. It's the RPG-ish one, whatever that's called.
Is it like Shining Force or something?
No, it's a treasure RPG, which is weird.
I didn't know they made it.
You and me both. No, not Alien Force Coma. Yeah, it's the other one. My internet went down the other day. And I played. No, it's not Strider. Light Crusader. Thank you, Kurt Dog.
Oh,
Light
okay.
Crusader. I played that because I loved the look of it, and I have never heard of it. My internet went down the other day when I was writing an article, so I couldn't save the article or publish it. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just play something while I'm waiting. So I grabbed the Switch in handheld mode and played Light Crusader. I played it for like an hour. It's so cool. I was
Really?
like, man, if I knew about this game when I was a kid, I would really like this game. It's an isometric RPG dungeon crawler, but it's an action RPG. So you actually run up and hit characters. It's made by Treasure, so the graphics are really good. The sound is awesome. And it's got some weird stuff in it, which makes it even better. It's just like it's got bad, great voice clips in it too. It's just
really?
it's great.
Nice.
Yeah, and it's got some really scary music in it too. Like there's music in a graveyard that's really weird, and there's music in dungeons where people are chained up, and it makes me feel uncomfortable, but I like it. It was good. So if you have Switch Online and you've never heard of this game or you never had any intention to play it, go in and play it. Like I liked it enough to save my progress because I'm going to go back and play more. It's a lot of fun. So it's kind of like Zelda if it had more town elements and more platforming in its combat. How about that?
Okay.
But it's good. Yeah, it's really good. I like that. So I played that. Elden Ring, like we were talking about, I haven't played it in a couple weeks. I really want to get back to it, but I really love the open world in that game. It's exactly what I want from an open world. I get the same feeling I get from Breath of the Wild. So really enjoy that. And then last night I finally got to play Kirby in the Forgotten Land. I put in like an hour and a half of Kirby in the Forgotten Land, and I've been doing all the side stuff. Man, does it feel like something special for Kirby? Kirby games have a certain feeling, at least in my opinion, that they've always had, and you only get it from Kirby games, and I get that from this game. But this feels like something special for a Kirby game. I mean, it's Kirby's first fully 3D game, and it just feels special. It feels different and unique, and there's just something about it. The level design, it just feels great. One of the levels I went through last night was so cool. It was like going through a cave that like these mining, like these drill robots were going through, and they carved through this cave or through this mountain to make a cave. And it's just such a cool setting. And the song in that level was so good. The music was amazing. Oh man, it's so good. And the mouthful mode stuff is awesome. I did the stuff you did in the demo, of course. So I did the car and the traffic cone, but then I did the thing where you turn into a giant set of stairs and squish people and like Tetris block flip over things. It's just great. I'm so early on, and it's so great. And there's a whole musical number to kick the game off, which I didn't know about. And you get it right after the first level. You know where the demo, where you think the first level ends in the demo. After that, you get like a whole musical intro to the game, and it's so good. Like somebody's singing and everything. It's amazing.
Spoiler.
Yeah, spoiler. Oh man, it's so good. I'm still early on, but man, I loved the demo, and it's a billion times better than the demo was. It's
You found
amazing.
that cool little musical Easter egg too. In the
I
beginning.
did. If you go to GoNintendo, you can see it. If you haven't seen it, it's on our Twitter at GoNintendo Tweet, or it's on the website. I found a musical Easter egg right in the beginning of the game. Literally, you walk off the beach in the beginning of the game, and you're in the little forest jungle area, whatever you want to call it. And I heard the birds tweeting, and I noticed that the birds at every 30 or every 15 seconds or something, sing a portion of the main theme of the game. So I put together a video to show that if you want to see it, or you can just start the game and listen for yourself. And that's one of the things I love about Nintendo, that little stuff that they sneak in games that I just really appreciate. Because they do that and they're like, nobody may ever find this, or people might really like it, but they do it because it means something to them. So I got a lot more to go in Kirby. I'm hopeful that I'll have my review of it this week. I mean, it's a Kirby game. I should be able to finish it in a week. But yeah, phenomenal so far. And that's that.
And the struggle is real, because I know when you get a game like that, you don't want to go too quickly through it, but you have to in order to do a review. So you're probably like,
yes,
beside yourself.
Yes, it's very frustrating, especially any review embargo. I understand it's important, and I understand I have to follow it, but it's tough. And there's been games with review embargoes where I have told the company outright, I'm like, listen, this is too much of a game for me to do under this time limit. I'm going to do the review, but it's not going to be when the deadline lifts. It'll be like a week after. And some companies are okay with that. And other ones are like, all right, well, we'll give the code to somebody else. That's like, I'm going to be honest, because I'm not going to be like, I will get to the end of this game by this deadline and have a review done at no matter what it costs, because that's not fair to the game. That's not how I want to review a game. It's not the right way to do it. But that's a boring discussion for stupid game press people. But thank you for bringing that up. I do feel that pain. Send your questions to goninpod@gmail.com.
Where?
Could
goninpod@gmail.com.
you spell it for us?
They can be GONINPOD, the @ GMAIL.com. Got it? I didn't see you write it down.
I don't got it.
They can be about Nintendo. They can be about video games in general. They can be whatever the hell you want them to be. This week's question.
It's free.
It's free. Comes from Autumnal Blake. And it is their infamous rapid fire questions section.
Oh, no.
What do we got here? 4 people, 4, 5 each. Okay.
Yeah. We're going to be great.
You want me to start with you, Kirby, and we'll get it over with?
Sure. Okay.
All right, Kirby. Number 1, what is your favorite? What is the best root vegetable?
Carrots.
Which Mario
wait,
character?
that's wrong.
I'm sorry, you picked it.
Damn
Which
it.
Mario character is most likely to shovel their pants in public?
Luigi.
Really?
Well, that's his answer.
That's your
Next.
answer. We'll debate later.
0 for
Number
2.
3, what is the capital of Austria?
Salzburg. Oh.
Number 4, if the Majora's Mask Moon asked you for a kiss, what would you do?
Give it a kiss.
Ooh. Number 5, first right answer.
Another one. I mean,
Number 5,
He's
what
evil.
is Waluigi doing right now?
Shoveling.
nice. That's the answer we needed.
All right, Lube.
All right.
What is the best type of sandwich?
Ham and cheese.
Correct. What is? Oh, I'm sorry, Lube. Is Link a super taster? You don't know what a super taster is.
Yes.
Okay. How many envelopes make a collection? This is perfect for you.
500.
Holy cow.
If Kirby mouthful moded you, how would it feel?
Delicious.
When did you last fall over?
Ooh,
You're doing so well.
I think yesterday.
All right, dude. Suppose
I
you
don't
were
believe
to
that.
suppose you were to eat a Goomba. How would you prepare or cook it?
Oh, I would just pop it in my mouth like a gummy.
Name a factor of 8.
I don't understand the question.
Tom Nook has 2 kids, Timmy and Tommy. Who is the mother?
The female. I don't know any of the Animal Crossing characters. The lady dog.
We don't know. Oh, Isabel, you're saying.
Isabel.
Oh, scandalous! Scandalous! What is Shulk really feeling? Shulk is the guy from Xenoblade. I'm really feeling it.
Oh, okay. I didn't get that.
I only know from Smash
Oh,
Brothers.
he's feeling peace and love.
Oh, and what was today's Pokemon?
Robeat, Ribbit, Robot. It's a rabbit.
It's 819.
Raybot. Rabbit.
All right, this is me now. What is your favorite? What is your favorite thing about the person to your left? Oh man, there's so many things.
All to your left.
My favorite thing is the Earthbound thing we just recorded a couple weeks ago.
Yay.
What genre does Josh Grobot's masterpieces belong to? Oh, you can't define them. It's the genre in and of itself. Which Square Enix game has the stupidest name? Well, the one that comes to mind right away is the newest one, Triangle Strategy. I get what it means, but that's not.
I don't think
good
that's
name.
the worst.
It's what came to mind. I got to keep going.
You're right.
Miyamoto comes to your door to try and sell you a new mailbox. How do you respond? I buy it. It's Miyamoto. I got to buy it. And number 20, why is Pod? Because it's Saturday. That's why it's Pod.
Yeah.
There you go. We did them. We did our rapid fires.
Tasty.
The one about shoveling pants, I would have went with Wario. He seems like more of a pants shoveler than
yeah,
Waluigi.
Wario for sure.
Well, I was just
yeah.
for some reason.
I think it's weirder for him to not have shovel in his pants than
I had in my head, you know, when Luigi does that weird dance in Smash Brothers where he just goes like,
that's the diarrhea dance. I understand.
All right.
I was thinking like maybe he lost control of his bowels.
Hey, It's your answer. It was right no matter what.
But you told me it was wrong.
I'm just trying to be nice.
It's Vienna. Vienna is the capital.
Oh, of
Austria.
course.
The capital is Viennetta.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm like dumb today. For some reason.
We also have a Patreon question. Hey, not Mom Brain. Hey, Kirby, did you know that you could join Patreon?
For $1.
That's right, Kirby. You can join the Patreon for $1.
It's a low cost.
Today's Patreon question comes from Guy Bones. And they ask, hi, podcast crew. The question is, what's your favorite game in the last 3 years? It's a close race for me between a couple of games, but I'd say Control with a runner-up of A Short Hike. Does anyone have an answer right away? Excellent.
Maybe Hades.
Oh, good answer.
I might have to just say Fortnite because
that's not a bad answer.
I mean, yeah, I've spent the most time playing that, and I've had the most fun playing that because it's been with you guys.
Fortnite has been what we've played the most, without a doubt.
Yeah, that doesn't make it like the best game ever, but it makes it the best.
I mean,
personally,
if you're just measuring it by like the amount of fun and memories you have tied to it, Fortnite would definitely be a good answer.
Yeah.
I was going to pick Earthbound for me, just because for me, first time for me
in
the Marvel universe. Just because I played it, a few months back for the first time ever, and I am ashamed that I never played it before. It's one of the most incredible games I've ever played. So in the last 3 years for me, I'm going to say Earthbound.
Is that how the question reads, or is it a game from the last 3 years?
What's your favorite game of the last 3 years? Oh,
so you can't say Earthbound technically, right?
When did Celeste come out?
It wasn't too long ago, was it?
I think it might be out of the 3-year mark.
Well, then Fortnite would be out too.
Oh, all of our answers suck.
A lot of good ones to say.
2018, 2019. Damn it. Celeste doesn't count either.
Well, I said Hades.
You're good. You're safe, Kirby.
Nice.
Last 3 years.
Skyrim Anniversary Edition.
Man.
Yeah, I've got some good ones. Like Metroid, obviously, Metroid Dread, Hades,
Death
Bowser's
Stranding?
Fury, Death Stranding's on there, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Yeah, Ori might be one, unfortunately. Man, yeah, I need to look at like a list of games that came out in the last 3 years.
I'm looking at my list right now.
Yeah, I don't know if
Death's Door. But that's I mean it's tough.
Death's Door. Yeah, it's hard. I need a list. I need to relook at what games came out in the last 3 years to give you a better answer. But man, Kirby, you had such a perfect answer. Hades is a great game. Yeah,
I put so much time into Hades.
Yeah, I can't think of another one
Happily.
that I just sunk that much time into. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, my memory doesn't even go back 3 years anymore. So I'm just gonna say Hades.
I'd like to give you a better answer, Guy Bones. So I'm gonna be nosy after the podcast and just see notable titles that came out in the last 3 years and see if there's one in there. Like, nah, that's got to be more than 3 years. I was gonna say maybe Doki Doki Literature Club, but that can't be 3 years, right?
Plus, you can't say that's your favorite. I mean,
what about
What the hell? What the hell is this? You're telling me I can't say?
I'm asking you not to say that's your favorite.
God of War Ragnarok?
Well,
from
it's
the past 3
2017,
years?
so you're good.
God of War Ragnarok.
Oh, is that the past 3 years, or is that
It might be 3 years.
Or was Last of Us 2? Was that in the past 3 years?
Oh my God, how did I
Two,
forget that?
yeah.
That's my number one, actually. Yeah, Last of Us 2.
I think that was in the past 3 years.
It was
2020.
There you go.
Yep. Thank you, Lube.
You're welcome.
Thank you for reminding me what my favorite game of the last 3 years was, because I'm brain dead. But yeah, that's definitely the one.
God of War Ragnarok was 20. Oh wait, Ragnarok's the new one. What the hell are we talking about?
Oh, then
Yeah.
whatever the Viking one was.
It's just called God of
now
War,
we got to
right?
do that stupid thing again
Oh.
where it's called, it's not God of War, it's God of War.
God of War current year or whatever.
God of War Viking one.
God of War PS4. There we go. 2018.
God of
No
War
good.
2018.
No good. God of War 2018, not God of War. David Jaffe, God of War, or God of War 2018? Yeah, I don't know. We gave you our answers. We gave you a lot of answers. Yes, most of them were wrong, but we got
Yes,
That's some good
yes. What do
ones
you
in
want?
there.
All right, guys, we did it. That's another show.
Oh,
Obviously, no
boy.
music. Mom Brain's fault completely. Send your hate mail to mombrainhatesthe
It's all her
podcast@gmail.com.
fault, people.
But that's it, and that's all. Yes, I'm gonna add sound effects to the soundboard. Listen, I got a lot of things. There's a lot of stuff going on. It's a lot to keep track of. I gotta keep regular GoNintendo.com the priority, but I will get this stuff on the soundboard if it didn't take so much damn time. But
Well, if you
I'll get it
stopped
done.
wasting your time on those damn video games,
I
you'd have
would.
more time.
You know
to do
what?
your
I
work
sat
about
down.
video
It's
games.
really funny because I sat down to play Kirby last night. And I put in literally 1 minute, and I heard that Easter egg, and I was like, I should make a video about this. And then it took like an hour to do that stuff, and then I sat down to play again, and I played for like another 40 minutes. I was like, oh, I should probably do a round on the site now. And I was like,
Was
I wanna
last
play.
night the first time you booted it up to like play it?
Yeah, yeah. Literally, the first time I sat down to play it, and then 30 seconds later, got up to record the footage.
Nice.
RLM, I will do that because he is here, and who knows when he'll be here next. Lube,
Yeah.
How's the belt doing?
It's a
nice belt.
RLM wanted to
It's got a
know.
little tear in one of the loops.
Oh, Christmas
other
is
than
far
that,
away.
hold
What are
it
you
up
gonna
good. You
do?
can see where I used to have it at this notch, and then as I got a little fatter, I'd move to this notch, and I got a little bigger, and now it's at the last notch.
I got
So
fatter, and then I got bigger.
I can't get any fatter or bigger. else I
Highly and
can't wear
Tom
the
also
stuff
says, You're
anymore."
tempting me to put another 500 hours into Skyrim. Stop it.
Oh yeah, it's good. You could easily do it.
So
All right.
easily. So easily.
All right, guys. Oh, yeah, let me do this. This is important. I shouldn't save this until last, but I did. We had a whole bunch of features on the site this week, or as we used to call it, stupidly, Go Original Content. Here's stuff that's new this week. We had a look back on Animal Crossing New Horizons for its 2-year anniversary. We had a look back on the GBA SP, which just celebrated its 19th anniversary.
Wow.
We took a look at Wind Waker's most breathtaking moment in honor of one of the game. That's also 19 years, actually. And I wrote a feature about Kirby games and their easiness, and how if you complain that they're easy, you're missing the point.
That was a really nice feature. by the
Thank
way.
you. Thank you. There's lots of comments, and I have been too afraid to read most of them, so I just let them go. Those of you, if you're not on Patreon,
If you think Kirby games are too easy, get good.
I would. If you are on Patreon, you would have seen me write a feature on Patreon about how I was nervous about writing that Kirby thing, but then I ended up writing.
Yeah,
it,
you
so.
know what? I read that Patreon, and then I was gonna ask you what you were talking about, and then I was like, you know what? Let me just look at the website because you're busy, and it was right there. I was like, this has to be.
I had time that night, and I was thinking about it. I was like, I'm gonna do it.
And you
so
put the little editor's notes in there so you don't
did.
offend anyone. Which, to
I
be
tried.
honest, like it didn't need
I
it. Like
tried.
it's not. I mean, I wouldn't have been
I
offended,
tried.
and that's weird because everything offends me.
Yeah, but you know me. Maybe if you didn't know me, you would have been offended. There's a difference between being offended though and like going on the internet and like telling somebody how horrible they are and why they're stupid. And they say, man, I posted that Kirby video yesterday, which I was like, this is really cool. What an awesome thing. Now, this doesn't bother me in any way. This is the internet, like par for the course with the internet. But somebody responded with a GIF of like Boss Baby saying boring or something. And I was like, I don't know how you could think this is boring, but I was like, doesn't bother me. I was just like, and somebody was like, I got to get my Boss Baby gifts out for this.
It is kind of boring.
It was you, wasn't it?
Like I know how to post.
You got a
this
phone
GIF.
that could do Twitter now. So
What is Boss Baby? Is that that's like
you don't know what Boss Baby
Is
is?
that the Alec Baldwin
Yeah,
cartoon?
yeah,
Oh,
I was gonna say if you don't know, I don't want to like
Okay,
spoil
yeah,
it for you.
yeah, okay.
You don't know about the Boss Baby cinematic universe?
I just like that's.
They did make a sequel.
It was a
That's
Boss
lot.
Baby
They
GIF.
made a whole
You know,
bunch
like-
of them.
And a
There's a
TV
Boss Baby GIF
Yeah.
of Boss Baby like rolling their head like this, and it said boring on it. So
You know what? That's like that takes time to do that. Like that. I don't know. I guess they got time.
maybe they got a folder of Boss Baby gifts.
Nothing but
In
Maybe they
their-
were saying it was boring because it wasn't about Boss Baby.
It's in his Boss
Why aren't they
Baby
talking
group.
about Boss
of
Baby?
groups.
Twitter is
The
for
Boss Baby
Boss
folder.
Baby talk only. All right. Well, on the way out, do you have anything to share with us?
Dues views. It's never news. Dues rumor of the week with Dew Michaels. Ladies and gentlemen, this week,
Ladies and gentlemen.
it's so Pikmin Bloom is doing a kind of a thing. You guys, if you're Pikmin Bloomers out there, you might have gotten an email
We're bloomers.
from Proof Eyewear, and Proof Eyewear and Pikmin Bloom and Niantic have done a little something. They're given like, I don't know, 50% off or whatever it is. But a lucky 2,000 bloomers get a wooden wallet just for playing the app. And your friendly neighborhood Do Michaels actually is one of those 2,000 people. This is a rumor, by the way.
This is a rumor, definitely.
I believe you do.
But anyway, I mean, great
But
rumor.
yeah,
That's a great rumor.
so I will make you all eat crow when I show you my wooden wallet.
But it's a rumor
later. Well, it's a rumor, but you don't believe it. But I'm saying it might be true.
Could be true.
So yeah, hopefully you bloomers out there will take advantage, like I certainly have.
Well, if it ends up being true, congratulations on that. One of 2,000. That's
Thank you very
amazing.
much. I've never won anything in my life, so
And
a wooden wallet.
And still maybe
is
haven't because it's a rumor.
Yeah, exactly.
And I believe it's engraved, right?
I just hope it comes with money in it.
Oh no, definitely not. Now that's a rumor. All right, everybody, that's what we did. Lube, thanks for joining us this week. It was nice to see you.
Thanks for
Great to
inviting
see
me.
you, Lube.
Well, now that you've been here once, you're welcome back. Same time next year.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
But everybody who hung out for the live show, thank you for watching and listening and hanging out in the chat and sending all your great gifts and pictures. Oh, I see that, Colma. I see it. Thanks for hanging out with us live. I always super appreciate the live audience because we have a little fun. And anybody who listens anywhere, thank you for listening. Hold on, there's something contractually obligated that I have to say, and I still haven't gotten it in my regular list of stuff to do. Oh yeah, just this again. GoNintendo is a part of the HyperX Podcast Network, and you can see our podcast and all the other podcasts in the network at podcast.hyperx.com. So thank you to them. And that's it. We'll be back next week with a whole bunch of crap. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
We're still live.
Womp.
I was paranoid that I wasn't going to be able to say that fast
Listen,
enough.
I've been so good.
Lube.
I've
You did great.
mellowed in
Lube,
my
we need
old age.
5 more minutes at most.
I think somebody owes Luke an apology, actually.
No, yes, sure.
Several apologies.
Once we're not live anymore, I will
Please.
make
Make
sure
sure it's the last thing you do before you cut the mic so that everybody knows that it happened.
I will do that. I'll give my apology, and then we'll well, I don't want to say an apology, but thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, I know.
Well, what would I apologize for?
For accusing him
Of being
in the
a
future
terrible
saying
person.
horrible things.
Yeah.
I'll say it that way then. Yeah. Well, I apologize for thinking you're a terrible person.
Thank you. I'm not a terrible person.
Giant Reggie.
But I just agree that
Giant Reggie says Lube is a good dude. Happy to have him back. Oh, this is something else. The last 2 weeks we've been back, people are like, "Where's Lube? What's Lube?"
Yeah, well, I didn't know you were even back. I thought this was going to be your first one back, and that's why I was
Well-
invited. But apparently, I wasn't good enough until kind of the third one to be back.
Well, to be fair, the last time I invited you to 4 separate things, your answer was, "Oh, I can't do that."
It sucks.
Well,
man.
we do a
Work
podcast every Saturday at 3:15. If you would like to be here. Well, wait, let's do this. We're going to do it right now. Every podcast you're invited, you don't need to ask. We will be here. Just let me know, because at one time you showed up for the podcast and we weren't.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, we're in Florida now.
Tomorrow night is the Oscars. We're having an Oscar party. If you could be here.
F the
Next weekend
Oh,
is WrestleMania. If you would like
I do
to come,
care about that, but
it's
I mean,
a 2-night event.
my
You can
wife's
come for
probably
one
not
of the
gonna let
nights.
me come
Okay. Movie night is on Tuesdays.
no,
if you'd
my
like
wife
for
doesn't like me to do
This is
that.
what happened last time. I'm trying to think of
How'd
something.
she let you come today then?
Well, because it's been
She's
like
in the
3
basement with George.
When was the last time I was over here? Like 3 months ago, 4 months ago.
She's got it on the
So,
calendar.
Yeah. For like New Year's was like the last
I mean,
time. So it's
I
been.
know
been
you're just
3
joking.
months. I
I've
can-
met her. She's really nice. She'd let you come out
To
if you ask.
Well, tell
Yeah,
her next
it's
week.
like, fine. Go do what you want. I don't care.
Oh, okay. Well, tell her next week is WrestleMania. Oh, and Cody Rhodes. What, do you even know?
Yeah, I know Cody Rhodes left his own company.
Are you
to go-
kidding?
Yeah, I heard. I know
This is
things.
unbelievable. Cody Rhodes.
I thought that was really weird.
This is a little bit of wrestling news, and then we're gonna go. That's the end of the show. Cody Rhodes wrestled for WWE. He left WWE because he didn't like what they were making him do. He was
Yeah.
a character called Stardust.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
ended up
it was
hating the
kind of
character.
He loved it at first, but then
Yes.
they weren't doing anything
Yes.
with him.
Totally understand his frustration.
Yeah.
So he left. Went to wrestle on the Indies. Got a lot of popularity there. Wrestled with a bunch of indie friends, and they were like, you know what, we should do our own thing. And they wanted to start their own wrestling company. They hooked up with a guy who's got a whole bunch of money and is a huge wrestling fan. They started their own company. It's called AEW. It's been on TV for 2 years now. It's the #1 show on cable on Wednesday nights. Very popular. I don't know what happened at AEW, but Cody, one of the literal founders of the company, is no longer no longer there. And at the time when he started AEW, well, you know, other people were involved. He didn't have the money, but Cody is a founding member of AEW. Wouldn't have happened without him.
Yeah.
He was like, I burned the bridges. I
say,
can't
like,
go
the
back.
face, you know, the face
Yes.
of AEW.
He literally, their first pay-per-view before they had a TV show, he came out and had a fake a replica of Triple H's throne that Triple H comes out and sits in sometimes. And he took a sledgehammer and smashed it to signify, like, WWE is dead. My career is over. AEW is the new hotness. He has left the company and he's coming back to WWE.
What?
I do not understand this. Now, officially, is he coming back?
Full of money. They
No,
to his house.
no official confirmations he's coming back. But all the inside rumor is he's coming back. And the storyline on Raw right now is Seth Rollins doesn't have a WrestleMania opponent. And for the last 3 weeks, he's been trying to get a match lined up for WrestleMania, and it always falls apart. And he said this Monday night on Raw's not happening unless he gets a WrestleMania match. It's been the biggest storyline going into WrestleMania besides Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. They're not going to be like, okay, you get to wrestle, you know, I don't know, Jimmy Wang Yang, somebody stupid.
Yeah.
This is a major opponent. I'm surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if they.
Jimmy Wang Yang is. Stupid?
I mean, I love Jimmy Wang Yang, but I don't know if people will be like, what a great WrestleMania match. So I wouldn't be surprised if this Monday Seth comes out and has a hissy fit and they still don't have a match for him. And what'll happen at WrestleMania is Seth will come out and just freak out at WrestleMania and be like, I'm not leaving until somebody comes out. And then Cody Rhodes comes out. So,
but as Cody Rhodes, not as Stardust.
As Cody Rhodes, yes. Because think about it. If you're having, like you said, the face of the other company, when he comes back to WWE, you want everything he had there. You want him to look the same song, the same entrance, the same pyrotechnics, all of that. Because this is their head guy coming back to your company. You want this to be like a huge deal. And then on top of that, you're going to treat him really well. So other AEW people will look over and be like, oh, Cody burned those bridges and look at how well it worked out for him. Maybe I could have a career over there because you're going to make more money over there without a doubt. It's crazy.
If you want to work,
it's crazy. It's crazy.
I heard, and also Triple H for real retiring now from in-ring performing.
Yeah, he had that heart issue and he was gone forever. Now we found out he's got a pacemaker. Like he really almost died. And he was he said they were gonna have him wrestle at WrestleMania this year before all this happened, but he disappeared from work and didn't say anything about
gives
it.
Him one of those chops the wrong way on his chest.
He said, like, he was asked, because ESPN just did the interview now, and they're like, how come you've been so quiet? It's been like 8 or 9 months. And he's like, I almost died, and like I had trouble processing it. He's like, I thought of my family and everything coming to an end. And he's like, I just don't know. He's like, I couldn't handle it, and I didn't know how to deal with it. And I still have trouble dealing with it. But now I'm like, getting back to some kind of normal. But he's like, yeah, in-ring career is done. I'm still working at the company doing stuff.
No one's going to be like,
just like the King, when the King had a heart attack and he was like, I can still go, and they're like, no, we're not putting you back in the ring. So it's sad because he didn't get like an official send-off match, but he could still be an on-screen personality and all that stuff. So if you're not into wrestling, half of the fun of wrestling is how the real life stuff gets turned into storylines in wrestling. That makes it so much better.
He'll come out in a Legends match in the future, hit someone with a sledgehammer, and then go back.
Yeah. He'll do that stuff, or somebody will like punch him in the nuts or something. He'll fall to the mat. Yeah, definitely.
He'll do the old Sergeant Slaughter where he like taps someone on the shoulder and they fly over the top rope.
He'll do the new. He'll be the new Bushwhackers. He'll just come out and flail his arms and. So there's your wrestling news. That was a great after show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Next week's WrestleMania. Next week's WrestleMania, and next week is Moon Knight, and you can bet your ass I'm talking about that. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
Flume on long style.
We'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody.